enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun for, our band and some of our players and myself. And, Ray does a great job at promoting.
Without, of course, having to take anything away from obviously your kids and their experience, this is the first time for you. You're back out on the field. Of course, you've been here all these Thanksgivings, but you've been taking care of the crowd. Now you're back out here on the field. Does it feel the same way as it did?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm here for the kids, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's not about me, it's about them, and that they've made it that much more enjoyable for me.
Where's their mindset at as they get set for action here? Is their mindset where you'd want them to be, calm and relaxed?
Oh, absolutely. We talk a lot about mindset. We talk a lot about purpose, and, you have to have a purpose in life, and that's one of the things we've tried to teach them, that it's okay. It's okay to love somebody. It's okay to care for your kid, So, their mindset's good.
You're going to take the ball on the ground here, and obviously right now we're standing on a Crocker field that, in typical Thanksgiving fashion, frozen solid at the moment. By the time the sun gets up and warms up, maybe about an hour or so from now, it's going to be a mud pit out here, as it always is historically on Thanksgiving. It's going to be real good for a running game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to play on grass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is what Thanksgiving's about, playing on grass and, the mud from the, the frost, finally thawing and everything. So it'll be exciting.
Historically, Fitchburg has always had the advantage in being able to deal with the natural surface. Whether it was 36, changing the uniforms, whether it's having the right cleats in the 70s and 80s and into the early 90s. Got anything in your bag of tricks for today to deal with the field?
No, we're just coming out and playing. We're going to do what we've done all year. No time, no time to change things.
No question about that, Coach. Obviously, a number of things that you'll be matched up against. So one of the things, of course, you're going to look to do, get Sal Figueroa started. That begins up front with some blocking. One of the things that was obvious in watching Sal run is he relies on running between the tackles, and that has a lot to do with protection up front.
Yeah, we got to get him to the second level. That's where he becomes most dangerous, is when he gets to the second level. So, they've got a very good front. So our kids have just got to do their job and trust what we've taught them and trust what they've done all year, and hopefully we'll get them going.
I have no doubt, Coach, as you look on the other side of the football, and obviously they have a number of things they'll do offensively. Again, they'll try to pass the ball, they'll try to put the ball on the ground. It leaves your defense, of course, having to try to adjust on the fly. Are there things you're keying in on?
Yeah, I mean, we got to obviously stop. They're very multiple, so we've got to be disciplined. I think it comes down to that. I think our plan is good, but it's just being disciplined. Don't try to do too much. Do what your job is, and rely on your teammates and win those one-on-one battles.
Top of the hour, Coach. It'll be Fitchburg and Leominster. In your mind, what's the key to victory for the Red Raiders?
We just gotta play. We gotta trust the process. We gotta trust each other. We gotta win those one-on-one battles, and we gotta deal with adversity and have each other's back.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for everything.
And that's Fitchburg High head coach Tom DiGeronimo down on the field from a little while ago. His key to victory also brought to you by our friends at Leominster Credit Union. So we've heard from both coaches. We've heard where we are at in our preparation for this one. Both teams seemingly exactly where they would want to be on a Thanksgiving morning. They've got the mindset, they've got everything sorted out, and now we are ready for action. We will break it all down for you. We'll get some final thoughts from Billy and Kate and myself before we get set for kickoff. The 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic, comes your way in moments. A break and we're back with more. You're listening to our DCU Countdown to Kickoff on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Did he understand what I said?
Yeah.
I linked it to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doyle Field.
Of the 1952 Leominster High School undefeated season, and they won here at Crocker Field in 1952, a 20-7 victory here at Crocker Field on Thanksgiving morning. So a lot of history going both directions here as we get set for action, as it is in this type of long-standing rivalry. And Kate, we talked about it. 66-59-10, Leominster High School leads the all-time series. They've won the last 8 Thanksgivings in a row, so they've got that going for them. Fitchburg's carrying that on their back. They're tired of eating the bitter turkey. They want to win this football game, and for this community that is turning around, restoring Raider pride under their education administration, led of course by their superintendent Andre Ravenel, their principal at Fitchburg High School, Jeremy Roach, and then of course Tom DiGeronimo is part of that staff as an educator administrator as well as their assistant principal. They're putting that Fitchburg pride back into this community, and nothing would help more than a win on Thanksgiving.
Oh, and you're absolutely right for that. We are going to, I believe, stop for just a moment for the national anthem.
Indeed we will. It snuck up on us a little bit, but that was the national anthem presented by the combined marching bands of both Leominster High School and Fitchburg High School. Down on the field, Barry Hudson, director of Leominster High School Marching Band, Tanya Greenlees, the director of the marching band at Fitchburg High School. Congratulations to both of them as well. And Kate, we are set for the coin toss.
We certainly are, and Billy, we need your eyes. We've been
This has been a mess all year long, Bill.
I've been practicing for this all season.
We're glad to have
one
you
and only
back.
time to get it right. My only
Today's
chance.
coin toss is brought to you by Woodcombe Insurance. Call them at 978-840-8700 or find Woodcombe Insurance on the web at www.woodcombe.com.
And as the captains meet at midfield, it's a good opportunity for us to also welcome in our partners at Leominster TV. First time, this one is going to be streaming on Facebook Live, as well as on the channels of Comcast and Verizon over on Leominster TV, and they'll have our K-Zone coverage all day long as well, so you can feel free to be a part of it that way as well. Lots of different ways to participate, replays available throughout as well. It's going to be a great day, and you can participate and bring us with you wherever you go. A fantastic crowd continuing to file in here on both sides at Crocker Field. I see the coin is up and down. Our head referee, appointed today, as he has been for a number of years, although microphone shy, is Bill Goslin. And Bill, you have a result for me.
Looks like Fitchburg has won the toss, and they're deferring to the second half. Fitchburg will be defending the goal to our right, and I believe Leominster will be receiving the opening half kickoff, and we're ready for some football.
All right, kickoff is brought to you by Troy Hebert Construction, a proud supporter of Leominster High School football with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 25 years experience. Make Troy Hebert your first choice for your home construction, remodeling, and damage repair needs. Find Troy Hebert online at troyhebertconstruction.com and line up your free estimate. And now, Billy, with the call of the game,
The voice of the Blue Devils, and I am so happy to be back with the team, Todd Robbins.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so much. Happy to be here as well as we get set for action. It is the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic here on the K-Zone. As we get set for kickoff, I know all three of us consider ourselves very, very lucky to be here on the K-Zone, and I hearken back to some of the great announcing teams, of course, that came before us. Dave Clark and Mike Flynn, of course, our immediate predecessors, they're downstairs, still calling the game for FATV, but they're here as well today. And then, of course, it was Joe White with Dave Clark before that, and before that, Joe White and Ron Lamont here on WEIM, now WPKZ. And you just think about all the history that's associated with this game from a football standpoint. To be a part of the broadcast history as well is a real honor, and we are excited to bring this one to both communities today. Wherever you are, it is time for football. The time for talk is over.
yes, so let the game commence.
Indeed, we will. Fitchburg's got the ball on the tee, or they are teeing the ball up. 40-yard line at our right. Damian Saavedra, great right-legged kicker. He's got the ball on the tee. 40-yard line at our right. He will be kicking from right to left. Both here on the K-Zone and with our partners on Leominster TV as well. Blue Devils defending the goal to our left, as Bill Thomas said moments ago. Here we go. Saavedra's ball teed up. He checks his line. He's on the approach, and the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg is underway. Ball will be returned from the Leominster 21-yard line with some room. It's Adam Couch. Dips a shoulder around the 30-yard line, drives the pack forward across the 35, and finally taken down at the 39-yard line. And Leominster keeps up pace with what it's been going on all year long. Kick return's been excellent. They've got great field position. First down and 10, their own 38-yard line, going left to right. And Billy, we saw it right off the bat. Both coaches referred to it. Coach Palazzi's been concerned about it. The chippiness after the whistle. There were a lot of hits after that whistle blew.
Yeah, you know, first whistle, first play, and we're already talking about it. I'm sure the intensity is going to pick up as the game progresses, and we're ready for the first play of the game here.
It was a 19-yard kickoff return for the Blue Devils.
Two receivers out in the formation, two backs in the backfield with the starting quarterback, Pat Gallagher, for the Blue Devils, a 3-7 mark this year. Good snap, handoff right up the middle for Voshan Dixon. Swallowed up after a gain of 2 to the 40-yard line.
That's going to be Couch on the carry.
Yep.
Oh, it was Couch on the carry. 21, not 31 on the carry. Thank you. And actually, they marked him at the 39, so just a gain of 1 on the play. Pack seemed to cave forward to the 40, but a gain of 1. Second down, 9 to go. And here comes Gallagher in with the play from the far sideline. Stiff breeze here at Crocker Field. See the flag in the corner of the end zone to our far left, blowing straight from left to right down that Leominster sideline. So see if that comes into play. Wind clearly may be a factor later on in this football game. A two receiver set out to the left. Two backs in the backfield with Gallagher, who scans the line once again. The tight end Del Judas to the right of the formation. Gallagher asks for the football, the snap and the give this time, and I'm confident that is Adam Couch on the carry. Cut down at the sideline around the 45-yard line. Right into that Fitchburg side, and what you can see already is the emotion on the sideline. They're jacked up.
Especially on this Fitchburg sideline, which is right below us here. We're not used to being on the visiting side and on the TV side, but one thing I noticed right away, Adam making that turn there, trying to turn upfield, lost his footing, ended up at the feet of the Fitchburg players here, and came up covered in mud. And that's what we're going to see as the game progresses. We're going to see steadily this field thawing out. Is already sidelines here between the 30s is very muddy now, but we'll have to watch the traction.
Some conversations on the sideline, trying to keep folks on the sideline there. Bill Goslin already having it out with Fitchburg's side of the field. Third down and 5 to go. Need to move the football to the 48-yard line. Here's the snap, and the handoff went straight up the middle. Couch on the carry. Short gain on the play.
Not going to be enough for a first down. Now it's going to be about,
Make it no gain. They move the ball back across the 45 to the 44-yard line, right in the middle of the field. Leominster will have a fourth down. If they gave him anything, it was a half-yard gain, so a 4th and 4 to go.
Yeah, that play there, running a little option, Couch riding the running back, decided to keep it. not a wise decision there. Brings up 4th and long.
And back into punt formation goes Connor Marchand. He stands at his own 33-yard line. Good snap for Marchand, good protection, gets the punt away with the right foot. Wobbling on end, it will hop right around the 22-yard line, where it will be marked down there. Fitchburg will set up shop. 1st down and 10, their own 21, coming from right to left. 9:11 to play here in quarter number 1. No score. Leominster and Fitchburg, 136 meetings of these two storied programs. Check of our time and temperature brought to you by North End Subaru, a proud member of the Colonial Automotive Group, located at Route 13. That's 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg. Online at northendsubaru.com.
36-yard punt for the Blue Devils to put Fitchburg back at their own 21-yard line to start their first offensive drive. For those of you watching and listening, number 1 is Sal Figueroa.
And he's dotting that I, a straight back I coming right to left. He gets the pitch from the quarterback, Andrew Brooks, who comes in with a 5-5 mark. He got some protection across the 25-yard line, and he's dragged down around the Red Raider at 30, make it the 28-yard line.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, strong run on 1st down. That time and temperature brought to you by North End Subaru. 33 degrees, 7 minutes past 10. High temperature today, we're going for 42 degrees. We got a ways to go as the sun continues to pop out here at Crocker Field. 2nd down and 3 to go. Straight back I, Figueroa dots. 2 receivers at the open side left, and Brooks is under center with the snap. Give it to Figueroa again. Got some room, and now he's got the left sideline. He crosses the Raider 40, 45. He's got 1st down at midfield into Blue Devil territory. No, stepped out of bounds around the 49-yard line.
Billy, this is exactly what we talked about in the pregame. Was Fitchburg going to change things up a little bit and go right at the weakness of Leominster's defense? All year long, Leominster's defense has struggled when backs have bounced it to the outside and run along the sideline. Containment has been a problem, particularly in the 2nd level of Leominster defense. 2nd offensive play of the game, Sal Figueroa bounces it outside, and it works like a charm.
Starts between the tackles and gains the corner. You're exactly right, Kate.
On 1st down from the Raider 49, out of that familiar eye again. There's another Figueroa carry right between the guards this time into that A gap. Crosses midfield officially to the Blue Devil 48-yard line.
It's going to be a gain of 3 on the play for Fitchburg, bringing them officially into Leominster territory.
You know, we're going to be focusing on Figueroa a lot, but I'm going to be interested in watching the fullback leading the play, see if Figueroa sticks with them, and where they really decide to attack, because I think as this game progresses, we're going to probably be focusing on what the fullback does leading Figueroa.
That's Damian Nadal, the down fullback, and predictably he gets the carry there on 2nd
Nice
down.
job, William.
Stacked up by the Blue Devil defense on the left side, and he gets pushed back.
It's like Billy never missed a step.
Never missed a step
Never
at all.
missed a step.
No gain on the play.
While you're calling the plays, I'm kind of looking for things to chit-chat about, and you know, and I'm looking, I don't just, and you, Todd, obviously follow the ball.
Of course.
I like to kind of see what's going on. I like to look between the tackles, see what the linebackers are doing, see what the fullback's doing. I didn't expect them to get the ball,
Yeah.
but, you know, it was a good, timely situation.
One of the things that a lot of people don't notice is the game in the trenches, those offensive versus defensive line play, the coverage for Fitchburg's offensive line, going to need to be great today.
3rd and 7, fake the handoff to Nadal, give it to Figueroa. He bounces it to the outside, now cuts it back over the middle. He's got the 30-yard line, angles back at the 20, slips his defender, 10, 5, he's in the end zone. Red Raiders have got a touchdown. It's Sal Figueroa.
48-yard touchdown run for Sal Figueroa and the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
And just like we talked about in pregame, right between the tackles, bounced it out, and I got to tell you, a very shifty runner. Once he get in the open field, we saw 3 cuts there, and each one of them shook a tackle, and next thing you know, he's hitting pay dirt.
Damian Saavedra does the extra point kicking. Mike Naud holds. Saavedra, strong leg, good snap. Naud fumbled the snap. It's a loose football. Saavedra picks it up. It's tackled and taken down, and the point after is no good. So the team's coming back upfield. 6:52 to play in the first quarter. Fitchburg draws first blood. It's Fitchburg 6 and Leominster nothing. A break and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ.
While we take this 15-second break, we have some bonus coverage for you on LTV.
Indeed we do, and our first opportunity for bonus coverage today on Leominster TV. Happy to have you along with us. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins here with you as well for Leominster TV. Thank our great volunteers here and a wonderful staff led by Bradley Bedard and company here.
Well, that didn't take long.
Yeah.
if I do say so myself.
Back to Crocker Field on the K-Zone we are. Bill Thomas, you're absolutely right. It didn't take long at all.
I'll chime in for the radio viewers, radio listeners.
Radio viewers.
Them too.
They're looking at their
hey,
dial.
First game back, working the dial. It's a visual thing, left to right.
That's it.
Right to left.
Indeed it is.
But didn't take long, and just like we predicted, Fitchburg put it right down Leominster's throat.
Saavedra on the approach, and it will be returned on the run from the 24-yard line. It's Couch again. He got some room. He runs over Saavedra into the open field, crossing midfield, caught from behind across the 40, and taken down at the 38-yard line. Adam Couch would not be denied. He had only the kicker to beat in the middle of the field. Saavedra, meanwhile, tried to lower the shoulder, and Couch ran him over.
It's a 38-yard kickoff return for Adam Couch and the Blue Devils.
And Leominster with great field possession
I
again,
was gonna
Bill
say,
Thomas.
field
First and
position's
10
the
at the
key.
39.
Field position's the key, but we saw them control field possession on that first exchange. Didn't really do Leominster any good here. They really got to put it in the end zone here. They can't fall behind early. It's just going to lead to bigger problems.
It's going to be punch for punch in this football game. 3 receivers out in the formation, 2 at the left. Rodriguez is open to the left side. 2 backs in the backfield. Justice Reynolds to the right of Gallagher. Here's the snap, fake the handoff. Launches it down the middle of the field. He's got the distance looking for Rodriguez, but it's overthrown. Incomplete. The ball sailed just a little bit at the end of the play. Brian Rodriguez, the intended receiver, and he had beat his man down the field, and Gallagher just missed him.
Yeah, you know, I think we're seeing a little bit of Charlie Raff's coaching there. It looks like Fitchburg's a man-to-man, almost daring Leominster to throw the ball.
Indeed.
And Leominster hasn't had a lot of success throwing the ball, and I'm quite sure Charlie's well aware of that.
I think he's well aware of that, and not only that, it does tend to take Pat Gallagher and his receivers a little while to get into a rhythm. We see a lot of those long passes down the middle of the field that go long, but once they get into a rhythm, they start to be able to mix things up and become a multi-dimensional offense.
2nd and 10 from the Raider 39-yard line going left to right. Good snap for Gallagher. He gave it to Justice Reynolds this time. He's got some room moving laterally to the left of the formation. Turns left corner at the 35, and he's angled out of bounds right around the 31-yard line in the neighborhood of a first down. Looks like at least a gain of 9 for Justice Reynolds.
A nice block out there leading the way by Brian Rodriguez, number 4, helping set the edge there, leading to a nice gain and short 3rd down coming up here, 3rd and 1, or a little less than 1, but still a big play here very early in the game.
Here comes Pat Gallagher with the play into the huddle here as we wind under 6 minutes to play here in quarter 1. Fitchburg sporting the 6-0 lead in quarter 1 of the 112th Classic.
Leominster's cadence very methodical on offense as it has been all year long. That's their game plan, slow and steady.
Here's an I formation. They hand off to the fullback, Connor Marchand, and that's his specialty. Pounded into the A gap. He got stopped, but it looked like his forward progress did carry the stick. We're looking at the wing officials there, and Bill Goslin says it's a Blue Devil first down. Hang on.
Down.
He looked like he signaled first down, but then nobody moved.
There they go.
There we go. All right, yes.
So it's going to be a gain of 3 on the play for Marchand. He does go over the pack, right over that first line of the defensive line, and we have first down and 10. Blue Devils from the Fitchburg 29-yard line.
Indeed they do. Bring that two-back gun again. 3 receivers out in the formation, 2 to the left. Rodriguez is wide left. Gallagher scans the line. He asks for the football, faked it to Dixon, gave it to Couch. Couch lowers the shoulder toward the 25-yard line. Looks like a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Looks like Leominster's not shying away from the middle of that pack with the offense here, running that ball right up the middle. I think they're both trying to set that tone, and we're not used to seeing smash mouth football. At least I'm not from Leominster. I know they've had to change things up this year. And,
much less finesse.
And, you know, if you got to go toe-to-toe with your opponent, that's what you got to do, and we're seeing that early on here.
Couch and Dixon in the backfield with Gallagher. 3 receivers out in the formation. Del Judas, the tight end, is wide to the right, and now Pat Gallagher took a look at the Fitchburg defense, and he asked for a timeout. And so Leominster will take a 30-second timeout, stopping the clock with 4:34 to play in the first quarter, in Fitchburg with the 6-0 lead.
Came out quick, did the Red Raiders of Fitchburg. And as advertised and as promised, Sal Figueroa is everything that he has been advertised. He can walk the walk, and everybody's been talking the talk for him. So he's been very impressive, and as we've seen, this Fitchburg offense is not one-dimensional, even though they've primarily been running the ball, only been running the ball. But the nice thing is that they've been going right through that A-gap, right up the middle, and bouncing it out to the edges to keep Leominster's defense on their toes.
2nd down and 7 from the Red Raider 25-yard line, going left to right. Shotgun set, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 receivers out in the formation, and here's the snap. Give it this time to Adam Couch. Couch lowers himself toward the 20-yard line, down around the 21. Looks like it will go for a gain of 3, maybe 4 more, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Same situation as the last set of downs here, but once again, a critical 3rd down. I wouldn't really call it short, Todd. I think we're looking at a long 3 here.
Yeah, 3rd maybe medium.
Yeah.
3rd and a long 3.
But Leominster's got to keep this drive going to keep some momentum. Obviously, it's not a day for kicking field goals, even not in range. But last thing you want to do here is turn the ball over on downs and allow Fitchburg to get more momentum.
Straight back I formation. Marchand the down fullback. Couch dots. 2 receivers to the left of the formation. Gallagher's under center. 2 fakes, bootleg it out to the left. Throws underneath for Marchand in the open field. Passes complete. Cut down right around the 11-yard line. And that's a Leominster 1st down. And that's a play that, of course, was a signature of the Leominster offense in years past that they've really struggled with this year. And they've been able to find Marchand there over the last couple weeks.
I mean, when you had a play like Anthony Dandini operating out of the fullback and running that short yardage passing game across the middle, and pretty much taking on any and all comers when he got out in the open field, and you know he was a load, and I think that's something that's been missing from the Leominster offense. But nice to see Connor Marchand fill in that role.
Here's a 1st and 10 from the Red Raider 12. The motion man comes left to right across the formation. It's Jack Young. The snap, roll out, throw back across the grain. Pass is complete to the eligible receiver. That's Vargas Vasquez bouncing it to the outside. He will get cut down across the 10-yard line around the 9.
Trickeration for you, Billy.
Indeed there is. Make the guard, in that case Vasquez, set him up to the outside of the tackle spot and make him eligible.
That got a little nifty there.
And I was wondering, that almost looked like a lateral. It was very close, and but the play looked a little cumbersome, I guess, to say the least.
Yes.
But it's nice to see Leominster trying something new, and it gives Fitchburg something to think about. I almost think that looked like that might have been another throw involved in that play if the beginning of that might have been a little cleaner.
Very Patriots-esque,
Yes,
very
yes.
O'Connor to O'Connor-esque as well for Leominster. That's a classic
One of my best
play.
memories.
The Baltimore Ravens are on the line. They say that's illegal. 2 receivers to the open side right of the formation.
I'm eligible.
Yeah. Single receiver is dealt. Judas, the tight end, open to the left. 2 backs on the snap out of the gun. Faking the rollout. Gallagher throwing on the run. Looks underneath. Pass is caught in the end zone. It's a Mike Viola touchdown.
That's the way to go, and that's the way to open it up. Run the ball down the field and then open it up with the passing game. And it's nice to see Pat Gallagher on target early in this game.
The 9-yard pitch and catch. Gallagher to Viola for the touchdown.
You know, you talked earlier, Kate, about how Gallagher has struggled early in games. And we saw it on that first long pass there, the overthrow. But he's quickly found his mark with the short passing game, and maybe they found something that could be the key to success today.
Knotted at 6. Gallagher to hold. Pablo Rodriguez to try the extra point. Snap ball down. Rodriguez drives it up and through. Teams coming back up the field. 2:13 to play in the first quarter with the score. Leominster 7 and Fitchburg 6. A break and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone. WPKZ. Bonus coverage for those of you joining us on Leominster TV today. There was a flag down on that point after. The call was offsides against the Red Raiders. Penalty was declined, and the extra point is good. 7-6, Leominster over Fitchburg, Kate.
We take a look at the scoring drive. 8 plays for Leominster covering 38 yards. Time of possession, 4 minutes and 52 seconds. It ends on the Pat Gallagher pitch and catch to Mike Viola, 9 yards. The extra point is good. Leominster is up 7-6.
Nice job there getting that field position.
Back to historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg on the
Welcome
K-Zone alongside Bill Thomas.
I got to pay attention to the
I'm
signals.
Todd Robbins. Don't worry about it. Good to have Billy back with us as well, and happy to have you with us. 7-6, Leominster's lead on the point after by Pablo Rodriguez. And Bill Thomas, a great drive. We can catch up our radio listeners. There was a flag on the extra point. It was declined. The extra point was good.
And as I started to say to our LTV listeners, nice to see Leominster answer that touchdown with with a nice field position and then taking advantage of it with that 6.
Now they got to figure out a way to stop Sal Figueroa.
Anthony Larson with the kick, end over end. It will be returned by the very Sal Figueroa from his own 12-yard line up the middle of the field. 20, go 25, cut down around the 30, maybe the 31-yard line, and a lot of pushing and shoving, and the extracurriculars continue out on the field. Referees are grabbing people, talking to people. Nope, that's enough. That's umpire Dave Douglas talking to defensive captain Connor Marchand there. They're going to be doing a lot of counseling if you're wearing stripes today.
And all the people that get involved with a Red Raider after the kickoff, the kicker, he got to get downfield and get involved too. That's great to see.
Anthony Larson's been the kickoff specialist for the Blue Devils throughout the year. And a first down and 10 now for the Red Raiders. 32-yard line coming right to left. I formation, Figueroa is in the back of it. Here's the snap from Brooks. There's a flag down. They gave it to Figueroa. He bounces it to the outside left, shed one defender, crossed the 35, out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and down goes some of the sideline personnel. But they are up as well. Hey, they're football coaches. They're ready for this.
Another flag. Another flag there, Todd. I think we're going to have some
as well.
Extracurricular activity over here on the sideline, maybe a personal foul against the Blue Devils, but we'll have to see what the call is.
That's Todd Deacon, the side judge. Here's Bill Goslin.
Personal foul on Leominster.
So it's a dead ball personal foul against Leominster. They call it a 15-yard penalty at the end of the play, and it is a first down. And this is what Coach Palazzi talked about. He said very clearly, we cannot get sucked into what is going to be emotional flags. They played right into it there with the late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, and we saw, I don't want to, pick on certain players after the play there, but we just saw a couple of Blue Devils, a little over rambunctious, but we saw a flag to start that play. Not sure if it was an offside, but they didn't even talk about that. Obviously, a personal foul takes precedent.
Offset eye in the backfield. Figueroa is still the back man, and Brooks the snap. Give it to Figueroa. Loose football. A loose football at the 45-yard line, and Leominster is there, and the football is up. It's Blue Devil football. The conversation continues. Mike Viola is in a discussion with Devin De Leon on the side, but meanwhile, back at the ranch, Leominster's got the football, and of course, a number 50 with the jersey has got himself a recovery in this game. And wait, hang on, Billy, I might have this. Anthony Tossi is wearing 50. He was also had a different jersey number. He was 33 earlier in the year.
We don't have a 50.
But Anthony Tossi with the recovery on Thanksgiving at the 45-yard line. Great recovery in the open field.
Right there, too. Johnny on the spot after making a nice stop there after that personal foul penalty, and Blue Devils get the ball back.
Indeed they do.
First down and 10 from the Blue Devil 45.
And going left to right, here's the snap, and the give this time is for Couch. Couch is hand-checking his way down the field, one stiff arm after another, battles his way to the 48-yard line. They give him midfield, at least on the far sideline, the near side at the 49-yard line. So he'll be marked after a gain of about 5, second down and 5.
5 tough yards, too. Nothing's coming easy in the trenches here. The running game for Leominster, 3 to 5 yards, but if that's going to wear down the Fitchburg defense, and we'll take it.
Second down, 5 to go from the 49-yard line, going left to right. Ball is to the right hash, two-back backfield. It's Couch and Dixon, 3 receivers spread out in the formation. Gallagher scans the line. Here's the snap. Fake the give. Kept it himself. That was blown up, and down it goes in the backfield. That was a sack. I see a beanbag out. There's a loose football,
Fitchburg
and the Red Raiders have it, but now the signal from Bill Goslin is third down, and he's saying down, but wait a minute. Now the wing official came in and was talking to him. Now he's talking to Todd Deacon, the wing official on the near side, and now the signal is Fitchburg football. So after some discussion, the original signal was down with possession. After some discussion with the wing official, they say that ball was out. We'll have to check Leominster TV's replay, but it does appear that ball may have been loose, and a good call by the officials to get together and get that right. It's Fitchburg football.
And the Fitchburg defense knew the entire time. They were adamant about it. They knew it right off the spot. You can tell a lot of times by the body language on the field, and right away, the Fitchburg defense, their body language said that ball was on the ground.
Teams exchange turnovers. It's Red Raider football at the Blue Devil 49-yard line, now going right to left. 56 seconds to play in this first quarter. 2 fakes and the rollout. Now the keeper here for Brooks. He's got some room into the second level. Across the 45, go 40. Shoestring tackle at the 38, maybe the 37-yard line. But it's enough for a Red Raider first down. That play looked like it was dead from the start, and Brooks just kept rolling it out, waited for the play to develop, and found the open field against the grain.
And we saw a little bit of slippery footing there exhibited by Brooks, but is able to maintain enough of his balance till he made that first down. Let's go back to that fumble. It looked like number 50, Ron Fernandez, was the player on the ball for the Red Raiders to create that turnover.
29 seconds on the game clock.
And here's the snap for Brooks. Give it to Figueroa. Shifty, dances it to the outside left, crosses the 30, brought down at the 28-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down, needed to get to the 27.
And Todd, the word that you just used is absolutely apropos in describing Figueroa's running style. Shifty. He likes to run vertically down the field through those tackles, like in between those tackles, primarily the A-gap, but his lower half, it shifts back and forth, and if you're not looking at the right thing, if you're a defender, then you're tackling air because he's already moved on.
Got some discussion down here. Oh, they're going to have a measurement here.
They're
The
gonna
clock
bring
is
that in.
stopped. Thought they were going to run out the quarter
was
here.
still pleading the case for the Blue Devils. Viola's going, I'm going, hey, look, I got nothing to do with this. He's giving, the old hands up.
Yeah.
I got nothing to do with this conversation on the sideline, and the officials weren't necessarily, they were listening, they weren't necessarily buying.
I think this one's going to be just shy.
And it looks like, yes, they
Good
stretch
eyes.
those chains out, shy by maybe about 6 inches. It'll be
Second down
down.
and 1.
Probably.
Second down and a very short yard, probably about 6 inches, as your white hat Bill Goslin brings those chains back.
4.8 seconds to play here in the first quarter. We'll see if the Red Raiders elect to run a play. Tom DiGeronimo off the sideline talking to the wing official Todd Deacon. There are some discussions going on down there. There's some pointing going on.
Oh,
I think the discussion has been about the sideline. They were right on Fitchburg about staying on the sideline at the beginning of the play and now, or at the beginning of the game. And now, of course, Leominster likes to drift out toward the numbers over there.
Drift. Coach Palazzi likes to be in the huddle.
Indeed he does, and I think that was the conversation. Now Coach Tom DiGeronimo says, hey, come over here. They're going to let this clock run out. There's the signal for play. The last seconds of this quarter are gone. 1 quarter of play of the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg in the books. 7-6 Leominster over Fitchburg as the team's change ends. Quarter 2 when we come back, you're listening to the Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers on Leominster TV today. What a first quarter of action, Bill Thomas, we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, very well played, evenly played, exchange of turnovers, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing out of both teams. I believe we're in for a very competitive game today. And if I could just add, Todd and Kate, last time I was in here, there was a lot of fans disguised as bleachers.
Indeed there were.
Today, there are a lot of fans here.
Indeed
It
there
is
are.
great to see. Great to see.
It is indeed. Both sides filled today. Not quite the 11,000 that were here 99 years ago. For the first time, these two schools met on the Circle Street grounds, now known as Crocker Field, but heading toward, Kate is giving me a signal here.
2,000.
2,000.
1918 had 2,000 fans.
1918 at 2,000.
11,000 sounds better.
11,000 was the.
I think it was either the next time they played here a couple years
Imagine
later.
11,000 people. I can see
had
11,000
as many
in
as
Doyle, but I don't know
13,000.
about here. But wow. But this is great.
Back on the K-Zone, second quarter action. Red Raiders going left to right from about the 27-yard line out of an eye. The snap, Damian Nadal, the fullback on the carry. He gets the 6 inches necessary for a Red Raider first down, moving the football to about the 26-yard line of the Blue Devils. And again, it's enough to reset the sticks. It'll be a first down and 10 to go from the 26-yard line.
Chain gang a little slow over there today. I think they're getting a little frozen already in the first half. Just to reiterate, well, I'll let this play run, but I just want to comment what I commented about off air to the LTV fan base.
Brooks scans the line, fake to Nadal, give to Figueroa. Figueroa steps in the bear trap, and down he goes in the backfield. Nice job there quickly. Blue Devil defense got in there. Connor Marchand, the linebacker.
Connor Marchand grabbed onto Sal Figueroa's foot, and he held on for dear life.
But I don't think we're going to see Figueroa get taken down by one player today on any single play. And that's what you got to do. The first guy's got to hang on and wait for reinforcements to show up. Just to mention real quickly, I love the crowd I'm seeing here today. I'm not seeing fans disguised as seats. I'm seeing fans and the student body down there. The Fitchburg's getting great support today.
And now whistles kill the play, and conversation. Yeah, they had to get the down marker correct. It is second down And they marked it as a short loss on first. So
Everybody's
second down,
cold.
about 11 here. Ball at the 27-yard line. Brooks points out a blitzing linebacker. He's got an eye behind him. Three-step set, looks out and throws. It was a wobbly pass and through the hands of the intended receiver, Devin De Leon, coming on the slant from the right side of the formation.
Once again, I'm going to comment on the crowd. Look at all the blue across the way.
I
tell you, that's what I really love about this rivalry and just being involved with Blue Devil football. The crowd is there no matter where you go. And but it's great to see this renewed interest in this rivalry that's, to the extent that we haven't seen the last 3 or 4 years.
And that's what it takes as both communities, two strong communities. We talked about it on Recipe all the way through. Bottom line, in any great rivalry, it takes two. You got to have two teams that are there. Great to see both communities here in full force today. Out of an eye, offset slightly, here's the snap. Give to Figueroa on 3rd down and 11. Figueroa's going the wrong way downfield. Connor Marchand again on top of him. Loss of at least 3 on the play. Back toward the 30-yard line, marked down at the 29.
I wonder if Figueroa's been tackled at any point this season, 2 carries in a row for losses. From what I've seen from him, I find that hard to believe. But knowing the intensity that Connor Marchand brings to the field, it doesn't surprise me that he's in on 2 tackles for loss of yardage against one of the best running backs in Central Mass.
4th down and 13 coming up for the Red Raiders here.
Need about the 16-yard line of the Blue Devils for a 1st down.
Offense is staying out on the field for the Red Raiders.
Indeed they are, and they're going to likely look at either a quick pass to the outside or Sal Figueroa. Here's that swept back eye. Figueroa dotting, Brooks under center. 3-step, make it a 5-step set. A little slip there. He launches downfield. Looking for De Leon in the end zone. Jump ball and incomplete. And that brings the blue sideline to their feet. It'll be a turnover on downs. Leominster defense holds in their own half of the field.
And the main reason is that they held is because of J.C. Cora Jr. coming across from his safety position, playing safety to a T right there, coming in late and breaking up that play at the last second.
A lot of contact on both sides of the ball on that one, battling for a position on that ball, but no pass interference on either end. They're going to let them play. Yeah. That's one of the things you kind of have to do in this game. Proactive officiating with regard to the chippiness on the field, but otherwise letting both sides play.
They're going to do everything they can to just let them play today, Kate. I agree with you. And off that turnover, 1st down and 10 to go. Leominster throwing 29 coming right to left. Out of that 2-back set in the gun, snap for Gallagher, give to Couch. Couch trying to shed defenders, he can't. The pile kept growing on him, and down he goes. Short loss on the play, 2 maybe 3 yards, and it will be 2nd down and long.
Yeah, the left-hand side of that Red Raider defense just blowing right through the offensive line of the Blue Devils there, and Couch never had a chance to make the corner, and he's fighting off defenders just as soon as he gets the ball, which leads to about a 3-yard loss there.
Leominster needs their own 39-yard line for the 1st down. They'll snap this one from about the 27. 2-back set in the backfield again. Gallagher in the gun, 3 receivers in the formation. Rodriguez is wide to the left. Scanning the line, little counter motion at the snap. The give was a fake. Now a rollout to the left. The throw, it's wobbling.
Oh.
Making the catch at the sideline is Rodriguez, and he is out of bounds.
Yes.
Wing official said he ran out of space.
That's a good
Could
call.
not get a foot down.
I think he had one down. Now let's go to the replay.
Yeah, pass incomplete is the ruling
this.
on the near sideline, and Todd Deacon, the wing official there on that Fitchburg sideline, says incomplete.
I have him out of bounds.
We get a look at the replay here from our friends at Leominster TV, and
well,
yeah, his first foot
Half
was
foot.
on the white,
Yep.
and the white is out of bounds.
Great call by the official right on the spot there.
Indeed he was. He played the drama up a little bit, waited, came all the way down to the spot, and then
We
rolled him
love
out of
that,
bounds.
though, on a day like today.
Absolutely.
We absolutely keep people in suspense.
3rd down,
Suspended suspense.
13 to go. Coach Palazzi pointing out a couple of things to his offensive receivers. He shifted Rodriguez closer to the sideline. 2-back set now. Here's the snap for Gallagher. 5 steps, throws the comeback complete on the screen to Rodriguez in the middle of the field. He's got the 35, go 40, and he's cut down shy of the 45-yard line. But it's a Leominster 1st down nonetheless.
Well-designed play right there, and just letting the defensive line come in. Offensive line did a great job selling that. Nice center screen, and Brian Rodriguez did the rest. And nice about 14-yard gain there for a 1st down.
17-yard pickup.
17 yards.
Yep.
7.5 minutes to play here in quarter two. 7-6 Leominster's lead. Teams have jockeyed back and forth. They've exchanged turnovers. And now Leominster with a sustained drive here in the early going here of quarter two.
I feel the sun.
Two
coming.
receivers tight to the formation on the right. Snap. Here's the rollout. Gallagher looking downfield. He throws, but through the wing official, the pylon over there. The marker cut down one of the stick men over there into the water area. That was Mike Viola trying to make the catch on the sideline. Everyone's up and appears to be okay. A lot of times the people who are holding those markers will drop them and they'll run. I don't think he had time.
Space.
Yeah, there was no room to go.
Well, I got to tell you, that official's looking back into the sun.
Yes.
So let's give him, maybe a little bit of leeway there. But the sun is directly over our, what would that be, the south end zone maybe? Coming up kind of that way.
Kate's usually better at that cardinal direction.
That's your east end zone.
Yeah, right in the eyes of the Red Raiders and the officials that are looking down that way.
Two receivers open to the left of the formation. Counter motion to snap. The backs ran into each other. Gallagher got the handoff to Couch. He was falling. He does fall forward across the 45 and down around the 46-yard line. Gains 2 on what was a busted play.
That's the type of play that leads to a ball on the ground and a turnover right there.
Indeed.
Two running backs converging at the point of the handoff, and luckily one of them was able to get that in their grasp and actually turn that into a couple of yards.
Next chance we get at the break of an action here, we'll get our hardworking player spotlight from Billy and Kate here on this first quarter of action.
My toes are working pretty hard.
6.5 minutes to play here in quarter two and a 7-6 Leominster lead.
My heated blanket's working pretty hard.
3rd and 7 in a gun. Two backs with Gallagher, 3 receivers spreading the formation. Good snap. Gallagher set, flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to run. He'll go to the right side and he'll launch the ball out of bounds. Incomplete. Coach Palazzi frustrated over on the sideline. Not happy with his quarterback, it appeared, as he rolled away from Kate, what you're thinking as an open receiver.
Very open, Mike Viola. I think that Pat Gallagher went to his second check a little bit early. Didn't like what he saw on the left side, but if he had waited just another heartbeat, I think that he would have seen Mike Viola, number 12 for Leominster, streaking down the field in single coverage with quite a bit of room, streaking to the sideline.
And now whistle, some personnel problems. Tom DiGeronimo not happy there. He had the wrong return man out in punt formation. Sal Figueroa is now out. They have to take a timeout in order to get the right personnel out there. So Figueroa is going to be in punt return formation, standing at the Red Raider 22-yard line.
Interesting call here by Coach Palazzi. For those of you that follow Leominster High School football, he is generally one of the most aggressive offensive play callers, and to be around midfield and to be playing field position,
Whistles and a flag kills the play. And now here comes the wing official from the Leominster sideline to talk to Bill Goslin, crew chief here for a number of Thanksgivings.
It is encroachment. So that's going to be on number
against Fitchburg.
That's going to be on number 10, Antonio Ware, the defensive back, attempting to draw the Leominster's offense offsides. They do draw Leominster's offense offsides, but they are penalized.
Leominster says thank you very much. Got a little chippy there on the sideline, and of course they're going to want to watch out for that. And that's that whole thing. You don't want to get drawn into the ridiculousness. Jack Philbin was speaking up there, as was Pat Gallagher, who's now coming back on the field. So here comes, after the 5-yard enforcement, brings the ball to the 49-yard line.
4th and 3 here.
It gets him on the right side of midfield,
yes,
so you got to go for it
and
now.
And again, Coach Palazzi is generally a very aggressive offensive play caller, so when he gets around midfield, he generally does go for it. He's going to ask, I believe here, for a quick timeout to be able to talk this one over. I think we're going to keep it here more than likely. But we have a situation where he always, especially 4th down and moderate when he's around midfield, he generally goes for it. So that's why I was a little bit surprised that they were going to punt there. And Fitchburg, number 10, Antonio Ware, does draw Leominster off sides to pick up 5 yards to make it now a 4th down and short on the Fitchburg side of midfield.
And the argument continues down on the field between both coaching staffs. Tom DiGeronimo not happy with how far out on the field Coach Palazzi is. Coach Palazzi not happy with how far out on the field the Red Raiders are on their coaching staff. So the bickering continues. continues through crew chief Bill Goslin.
Let's call it showmanship.
Indeed it is. 4th down, 3 to go. Leominster needs the Red Raider 46 for a first down. Spot in the middle of the field, out of an eye. 2 fakes, here's the rollout. Defender falls down, gives Gallagher some room. Faking downfield, he tucks it himself. He reaches for the 45-yard line. He dives into the Fitchburg bench. He is marked right around the 47-yard line. Todd Deacon marks him out of bounds. Connor Marchand thinks he's got a first down here. I'm not convinced. Red Raiders don't think so.
The other problem that we have is the line official on the Leominster side of the ball had given him 2 additional yards beyond the first down marker and has since moved back to the first down marker, but the line official on the Fitchburg sideline has the ball marked well short of a first down. So you have differentiation on either side with the line judges, and now you have Coach Tom DiGeronimo in the face of the white hat today as well.
And of course, Pat Gallagher saying,
Where's
I reached. The ball is over here on the sideline.
Ball's on the sideline.
We're taking a look at Leominster TV's replay here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of where the Red Raiders are standing on the sideline, we can't see where the foot goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
It looks like from where the mark of the ball is, they think it was out of bounds before he reached forward right around the 47-yard line.
Yeah.
So that's about where the ball is.
This
We
looks
still
well
can't see
short,
A
too,
huge
I think it's
measurement
gonna be well
here.
short.
Yeah.
Fitchburg seems convinced. Bill Goslin's already convinced. They drop the chains, turnover on downs. Fitchburg's defense stands.
You know, it's unfortunate there, too, but both teams are playing on the same field. And not seeing that last cut there, I think that we had a little slip there right at the end of that play. And Pat's, he went to cut, lunge for those last 2 yards, and I think his foot slid out of bounds right there.
But what a great effort on his part to understand the physical awareness of exactly where he needed to get that ball. You don't see quarterbacks lunging themselves forward, outstretched like that in midair. He knows exactly where he needs that ball, and what a great effort.
Our hardworking player spotlight is brought to you by Workers Credit Union, home of the $3 million give back program. The more you bank, the more you get back. Check them out on the web at WCU.com. Workers Credit Union, doing what's right for you. Our Workers Credit Union hardworking player spotlight.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm kind of torn right now, but I like the way Pat Gallagher's been running the offense up to this point. With let's give an honorable mention to Connor Marchand. He's been very strong on defense.
And right away, here comes Brooks on first down and 10. Back on a 3-step set look, screen out to the left. Pass is complete. It's complete in the hands of Ozzie Guy. Guy turns the corner at the left of the formation. He's dragged down around the Red Raider 49-yard line.
It's going to be a gain of 1 on the play.
I think that was Cora Jr. out there again on that defensive play. Just to reiterate a little bit more about Connor Marchand's contribution, he had that big third down catch there out of the backfield for a first down, but he's really showing his stuff on defense. So let's share that here in the first half.
I'll also throw Sal Figueroa into that conversation as well for Fitchburg.
Wait, he's wearing
here's
the wrong
snap,
uniform.
and here's the snap and the give, and he bounces it to the outside right, and forward he goes across midfield and dragged down at the 47-yard line. Gains a handful more, and
let's take a look first at those stats for the rushing attack for Fitchburg, if we have a moment. Right now, Fitchburg's rushing attack of Figueroa, Nadal, and Brooks, they have 13 carries for 113 yards. They're averaging 8.7 yards per carry. Their long has been for 48 yards, and they have the 1 rushing touchdown.
Third down, 3 to go. I formation, Brooks under center from the Leominster 47. Snap, he missed the handoff. Ball is loose on the turf. Who got on top of it? We've got red and blue jerseys down there. Bill Goslin's holding up the fist for 4th down. Fitchburg got on top of it, and I think it was Brooks that saw it go down, and the quarterback gets back down to the bottom of the pile. He was trying to slip it in the back pocket of Damian Nadal, the fullback, and he hit his hip, never got the ball forward into his hands.
Hello, natural surface.
Yes, indeed.
That ball bounced right out. And it looks like now we're going to have a little field position gamemanship here.
We are.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
They want to give Leominster a long field to have to work with. They know that they chew a lot of time up off the clock, and they're very deliberate in their offensive scheming. So field position game it is.
Mike Nowd gets a good snap at the 39-yard line, unleashes his punt downfield, which dies on the natural surface. It took an initial Fitchburg bounce across the 20, then a Leominster bounce back to the 20-yard line where it was touched down. And so it is a first down and 10 to go for the Blue Devils, their own 49-yard line. So it'll be a first down and 10 to go. They marked it actually at the 19-yard line where it was touchdown.
I think it's a good chance for the Blue Devils here to make a statement going into halftime. If they can just control the clock here through this rest of the first half and put another score up, it'll be a great momentum builder.
Out of an eye. Here's the snap for Gallagher. Gallagher gives to Couch. Couch bounces off the pack. Out to the right side he goes toward the 25-yard line where he's dragged down after a gain of about 6.
Playing wire pickup here.
Second down and 4
Second
here.
down, 4 to go.
In case
Sorry,
you
out
wonder
of
why
an
we're
eye.
quiet.
2 receivers to the open side right. We're still here with you. Here's the snap and the give this time. Nice job by Couch to shed a defender. Keeps stumbling forward across the 30 and brought down right around the 32-yard line. And it is a Leominster first down as we wind under 3 minutes. Clock stop while they reset the sticks. 7-6 Leominster on top of Fitchburg inside of 3 minutes to go here in quarter 2.
Shed a defender. No, it was more like step on and then over the defender.
Do what you got to do.
Which led to a nice first down and keep the clock moving, move the chains.
This is already Leominster's 5th offensive possession. This will be their 23rd play from the line of scrimmage. And time of possession over 11 minutes and 34 seconds.
Couch leans forward, said something to Marchand in this I formation. 2 receivers out to the right, 2 fakes, the rollout with some time. Looks underneath, passes complete for Marchand. Turns himself upfield, cross the 40, still on his feet, to the 43-yard line and out of bounds there. And now the pushing and shoving the pile. Back judge comes in, flag is up, and whoa, welcome to Thanksgiving. There's 3 more flags that have gone down. The entire Leominster sideline is over there. I'm going to imagine there may be some offsetting penalties here. Officials in to maintain order. And wow, the conversations ensue. And Coach Palazzi standing there going, I told you, if you didn't get control of it, this was going to happen.
Coach DiGeronimo and Raph both halfway out there to the hash marks, want to know what's going on.
Welcome to Thanksgiving football. If anybody said the rivalry was dead, I give you that and that alone.
You see no signs of that. We have a strong heartbeat here today.
A lot of emotions flying on both sides of the ball here, both sides of the field. A lot of sorting out to do here, and I think we saw about every flag and all the officials' pockets.
Might have been a couple of extra flags. There were no hats.
A couple of handkerchiefs.
Here comes Bill Goslin. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Fitchburg. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Leominster. By rule, those penalties offset. So they offset, and now Coach Palazzi is incensed. And he's getting in the face of the umpire, Dave Douglas. And now Bill Goslin steps in, and the conversation ensues. And there's another flag down. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty against Coach Palazzi.
That one's not going to be offset.
It'll be a sideline warning assessed against Leominster, his first one. So there'll be no penalty enforced against him at this time, but that is the type of unglued nature that I know Coach Palazzi wanted to be careful of, but he was incensed.
There's another one.
And a flag is now out. Somebody said something over on the far sideline.
This is going to cost.
And now Coach Palazzi screaming at it looks like the defensive coordinator there, Kevin Murphy. And there's a 15-yard personal foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. And now Leominster is going to get set back because of a lack of discipline. It was one thing to speak your case as a head coach. As an assistant coach, you have got to keep your mouth shut in this type of an emotional situation. That is a bad move. You got to trust the adults to lead the team here. And that one was the adults costing players.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a good way to coach up your players there by being the offender.
Once you get to the warning, that's when you got to say, okay, I've said my piece and walk away. But this is the type of stuff that happens in this type of a rivalry every single year. What a better way to celebrate the 99th birthday of Crocker Field than to have a game like this, a grudge match type of game. 7-6 right now, Leominster. We're almost going into halftime, and emotions, they are crazy.
I see athletic director Lorene Sapola got in there to try to push some people back.
Is she on the field too?
She's down there as well. I see assistant principal Steve Dubzinski, and there's more conversations. Bill Goslin's coming to the sideline as the officials are continuing to discuss things.
Yeah, they're nowhere near
the poor
ready.
Shane King doesn't know left, right, center.
Where they need to be
going,
setting
guys?
here.
It's going to be a first down and 10
after the 15-yard penalty. Yeah, so, and now
we have another
here
time
comes Todd
situation.
Deacon from the Fitchburg sideline to Bill Goslin. And see, these are the kinds of things. Now you've lost some of the momentum in the game in some of the hostilities that are going on. Now Bill Goslin has to come over and counsel Tom DiGeronimo over on the near sideline. Meanwhile, Charlie Raff's still coaching. He's going to talk to Sal Figueroa, who's playing on the defensive side of the football today as well.
Might as well take advantage of every opportunity. But, you know, like you said something key there a couple statements ago, a huge momentum shift. It looked like Leominster had some momentum here, might even get something done before halftime. Doesn't look too promising right now.
Indeed it doesn't. 2:19 to play here in quarter two, 7-6 Leominster's lead. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 30, coming from right to left. Two-back set. Quick back pedal. Here's that screen. Floated. Swatted down and knocked away incomplete. Great job by the defense there. It was Ron Fernandez. He got his hands up as a defender. He was between Rodriguez and Pat Gallagher and swatted the ball back down. The pass will go incomplete. That's why those defenders get their hands up.
Yeah, Fernandez having a very good game on the Fitchburg side, too. He was in on a fumble recovery earlier in the game in the first quarter. And I think that one play there, I think Leominster should put that in their back pocket. I think it's the 3rd time they've gone to that center screen, and something Fitchburg's looking for now.
It's getting a little precarious, especially when you put it up that high with that much hang time.
So here comes the I formation now. Marchand, couch dotting, 3 receivers spread in the formation. Under center goes Gallagher. Here's the snap. Gives it to Couch. Couch finds some room in the open field. Slips on a cut across the 35. Go 40, and he's brought down right around the Blue Devil 45-yard line. And it's enough for a Leominster 1st down. Clock will stop on the 1st down for the moment. 2:07 to play in the 2nd quarter. A 7-6 Leominster lead.
17-yard gain there for Adam Couch to give the Blue Devils their 7th 1st down.
I think it takes a little bit of momentum back to their side of the ball, too. And if anything, it's going to possibly keep Fitchburg from regaining possession here in the 1st half.
The only problem is Leominster does tend to chew up quite a bit of clock, and they are only just now encroaching on midfield. So they have a lot of distance to go in a very short time. We've got a 2-minute offense potentially that they need to start running.
Pat Gallagher checking the wristband, taking their time coming out of a full huddle there, and now they'll ask for a timeout. And Leominster takes a full timeout to talk to everybody. 1:36 to play in the half. 7-6 Leominster's lead. Coming up at the half, we'll recap this entire 1st half of action here on the K-Zone with our halftime show. Get you caught up on the 1st half stats, recap everything in what has been a low-scoring affair in this 136th meeting. We'll also catch you up on the scores for all of the excitement that has gone on across the region as well today.
Sure.
A lot of great rivalry action out there. We'll get you some scores on our scoreboard. Plus, we'll preview 2nd half action. All that's coming up at the half here on the K-Zone. 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic. And Kate, don't want to overshadow that point you made a little while ago. The 99th meeting, or 99th year, the birthday here at Crocker Field of the 1st meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg here at Crocker Field. The 23rd of November, 1918. First time they played here at Crocker Field.
Yes, not technically a Thanksgiving Day game as the game was played on Saturday. Leominster actually didn't even know if they were going to have a team in 1918 because of the influenza breakout of that year. They had lost 30 players by September 18th of that year, but the 2 teams did play on Saturday, the 23rd of November.
And cut the ribbon here at Crocker Field.
In June of 1918, they cut the ribbon, but yes, we'll go with it.
Here we go on 1st down and 10. 2-back set, good snap, a fake, and now here's a rollout for Gallagher. Getting pushed back. Gallagher launches toward the sideline. Incomplete pass was out of bounds by 5 yards. Brian Rodriguez was the intended receiver, covered on the sideline by Antonio Ware, well over on the sideline. Clock stopped on the incompletion, 1:30 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Leominster nursing that 7-6 lead.
Too much time coming off the clock right now, especially how Leominster has run its offense. The other thing about this situation, Leominster has not really been in close games all season long. So running a 2-minute offense is not something that Leominster's offense has been accustomed to doing. So it's a situation where they're going to have to rise up and they're going to have to get time management skills running on all cylinders.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Good snap for Gallagher. Fake the handoff. Now look on the slant. Looking for Del Judas, and oh my! Del Judas went high, and he got dumped. It brings the Red Raiders to their feet, but he is down, and Del Judas landed awkwardly. Ray Cosenza, Tom DiGeronimo off their sideline. Here comes the Leominster training staff as well. Del Judas went up high. It was a clean hit. He got underneath the defender did of Del Judas, and then kind of flipped him over. It was just a football play, but you see both teams being sent toward their sidelines while these players get attended to here. Again, Del Judas down on the sideline. Replay for those of you joining us on Leominster TV, and you could just see as the defender got underneath him was Isaiah Perez, the defensive back, who got underneath the legs of Del Judas and then dumped him unceremoniously. That's how it went.
But it wasn't a situation, it wasn't a high-low, it wasn't a situation of a defenseless receiver, getting clocked. In this case, Del Judas's vertical leap just essentially almost outbounded the defender, but the defender was able to get him right underneath, undercut his legs, and he basically did a flip in the air and came down directly on his neck. And one of the things you have to remember, these high school athletes, not necessarily used to working out in the cold all the time.
Indeed.
So, warm-ups happened hours ago at this point. So, and your head and your neck isn't something that you're generally all too worried about. But in this case, when you land on it in this type of a fashion, your muscles in this type of a cold, they're not going to like it one bit.
Alan Tumley off the sideline, the trainer for Fitchburg. I think that that is Steve Dobzinski, assistant principal at Leominster High School, coming off the sideline with somebody who I don't know or can't identify. I'm guessing this may be Del Judas's father, who has joined the conversation. They are continuing down on the field. The conversations ensue, and
we might be bringing
I think they may be bringing in an ambulance call here. We are going to we're going to take a moment. We're going to step aside both on Leominster TV and also on the K Zone. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more information in a moment. You are listening to the 136th Classic here on the K Zone.
This? Push that in there, Todd. That doesn't look like it's in all the way. Is it?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Now see how I had that on the end of the antenna?
Todd Robbins here for WPKZ, back joining us on Leominster TV as well. And we have now seen the Fitchburg EMS ambulance is on its way to Crocker Field. It's coming down River Street right now. And of course, if you're just joining us, Zach Del Judas was the player who was going up for a pass right before the break. He got over the top of the defensive back, Isaiah Perez. Perez, of course, kind of bumped into him. He lands awkwardly on the field. Everyone sprints out from the sideline. And over the last couple of minutes, of course, with all the emotion that's been going on, and the focus, of course, firmly on Del Judas, you've seen both head coaches out there standing together, talking with Bill Goslin. And, of course, you see, although there has been this battle, and, of course, both communities are so entrenched in it, you see this kind of time for everybody to kind of step back and what's most important.
One of the things to note, if you are viewing on Leominster TV or listening on WPKZ, more than likely with what I'm seeing from the medical staff that are already on the field, Del Judas will more than likely be backboarded. They are right now stabilizing his head and neck as he did fall directly on it. So more than likely we are going to have a situation where he will be stabilized, but we have been seeing movement in all of his extremities. I can see him moving his legs and his arms right now. So that type of an injury, something the worst of the worst, is not what we're seeing. He is right now. They're asking him to move his toes, his feet, and his arms and legs, but they are stabilizing his head and neck, so more than likely he will be backboarded. Just so that everybody knows, that is where we are at right now with Fitchburg EMS.
Just generally out of an abundance of caution, they've made this decision here to protect the best interest of Del Judas, to get him out of here and get him some medical attention off-site, and again to go through the procedures, of course, with all the focuses on head injuries, neck injuries, and what have you. They're going to try to, I think, get him up and get him off and get him looked at out at the hospital here.
They might have him stand up. I don't see a backboard coming out yet.
Yeah, not as of yet.
So, and his legs are crossed, so they may just, oh no, here, yeah, they are gonna. I thought so. With a head and neck, that was exactly what I would expect.
Clock stopped with 1:26 to play here in the first half. Leominster with the 7-6 lead here as the medical personnel now arrive and start to treat Zach Del Judas here and get him ready for transport. We're going to take another break on the K-Zone and Leominster TV. We'll have more from the 136th Classic in a moment. You're listening to the Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. silent here at the moment as people in the stands on both sidelines wait for some form of a positive sign. Like I said, from our vantage point on how high we are, Kate picked up on it before our last break. We saw some movement in extremities, which is always a positive sign under these circumstances. You always look for something that would be positive, and so we have seen some of that. See Mr. and Mrs. Del Judas down on the sideline with him, his mother and father. Lorraine Cipolla, the athletic director. Also Tom DiGeronimo and Ray Cosenza from the Fitchburg sideline, all in there as well. And that's the type of, in light of everything, of course, that goes on and all of the passion and frustration that happens in this rivalry, you can see it can all stop in a heartbeat. And we're all football players and we're all football people here when these kinds of situations happen. See the officials applauding. We will echo that as well. And good feelings here for Zach Del Judas and his family, as hopefully this is a quick trip to the hospital and hopefully out to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal very quickly.
Probably very sore, but hopefully that's all. In this type of a situation, especially in high school athletics, they work with an overabundance of caution simply because you're working with high school students and anybody for that matter that sustains that type of an injury. And here, another nice thing, number 2 from Fitchburg, that would be Isaiah Perez, the defensive back, going over to Del Judas whilst he's on the stretcher to give him kind of a high five, make sure he's doing good. I believe that Perez would have been the defensive back. Yeah, he's the defender that was involved in the play. And now we have Del Judas being rolled over to the ambulance with, again, 1:26 to go here in the second quarter. But again, all extremities appear to be functional, but he has been backboarded and his head and neck stabilized, and he will be on his way to the hospital.
And a team of personnel slowly move the gurney over to the ambulance here at the 30-yard line at our left. He'll get the quick trip, sirens and all, down to Leominster Hospital for, of course, a checkout. And we will continue with 1:26 to play here in the second quarter and a 7-6 lead. And yeah, Kate, I see you signaling there. You saw some movement, some squeezing of the hands there, which is a good sign
They're taking,
as well.
Before they put him in there, taking off his athletic tape on his hands, and he's lifting up his arms on his own volition. So Leominster trainer right now taking off his gloves and his athletic tape along his wrists. She's making sure that he can squeeze his hand readily. You want to make sure, I mean, again, I'm not a medical professional, but they want to make sure that he can maintain movement in all of his extremities, especially because this is a head and neck injury and he is stabilized and probably getting pretty cold at this point. So they want to continue to make sure that he's able to move on his own, and they keep checking and they keep telling him how much they're going to miss him. Oh, the ball's down, and Leominster and Fitchburg are lining up, but kids, there's still an ambulance.
Yeah, there's still an ambulance.
That's the 12th man on the field.
Yeah, we gotta wait for that to get resolved.
The bus needs
first.
to go.
Del Judas is probably telling him, just turn the ambulance around, leave the doors open.
I'll block.
And go.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
going
block.
long.
Yeah,
No, he's going long. He wants to catch the ball.
And that's the kind
what
of
he
passion.
was. That's what his role was.
We've seen from Del Judas here, only a junior, so this by no means his last Thanksgiving should all go well. So that's the good news there. As, of course, we see some conversation, players trying to loosen themselves back up a little bit.
This is the difficult part. This is also what you're worried about. Billy mentioned it a little while ago, that you get a little bit nervous. They've been now standing around for about 20 minutes while the arriving and working on Del Judas, and at this point now you have to worry about all the other athletes that are on the field with regards to injury because they're cold at this point.
Indeed, they are. So they're going to turn this ambulance around and try to get it pointed in the right direction, of course. And Crocker Field still a little bit frozen. It was very frozen when I was down on the field about an hour or so before kickoff. And now I can see as they start to back the ambulance out, you can see those tires sinking a little bit, which does a good job to indicate to us what we expected would happen. This field would soften up in the second half.
Can we talk about how immaculate this field has looked?
Without question, for a natural surface.
I have never seen a natural surface by the end of November look this immaculate. So kudos to everybody who works at Crocker Field, including the athletic the athletic department led by athletic director Ray Cosenza for Fitchburg. This field could not be in any better shape. It looks absolutely pristine, softening up as it will at the end of November after a nice freeze overnight. But what a nice job done by everybody, and we're gonna.
It looks like ready to go, but the ambulance isn't quite ready yet.
No, the ambulance has not cleared the area yet. The crowd, of course, on both sides trying to pick a little bit back up as they try to get the adrenaline pumping once again. And They've made it back with the ambulance to the track. They're moving. Our Fitchburg Access Television is down with us here today, and they had to move a lot of their equipment over off the sideline in order to get the ambulance in there as well. And of course, there's the whistle to begin play, and we will continue.
So
third down and 10 to go. Leominster with the football at their own 45-yard line, coming right to left. Here's a snap. Gallagher back to pass, hanging in the pocket, got plenty of time. He now rolls out to his right and throws. He's got an open Mike Viola, who makes the catch across the 40-yard line, slips and falls at the 38 as he was trying to turn the ball upfield, and he lost his footing and goes down.
That's going to be a 17-yard pitch and catch for the Blue Devils.
Good job on the first down there. Unfortunately, Mike wasn't able to get himself out of bounds there.
He's been
Clock
struggling
continues
with
to
footing.
run. And
down around a minute remaining here at the snap of the football. 1st and 10 for Leominster at the Red Raider 39. Here's the snap with some time. Launch it out again. There's Mike Viola on the dart from Pat Gallagher across the 35-yard line and down at the 34. Gains 5, 2nd and 5, and Leominster will spend a timeout to stop the clock with 53 seconds remaining here in the second quarter and a 7-6 lead.
And again, right now, Leominster having to do what they, number one, have not been asked to do all season long, and number two, what has not been their bread and butter. In order for them to be able to matriculate this ball down the field in a very efficient manner and a very time-saving fashion, they have to pass the ball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right now, Couch and Marchand, they're going for small spurts, but not enough to be able to get enough yardage to really make a difference at this point, and it takes so much time off of the clock. The Leominster right now has to get this passing game going. They're going to become a one-dimensional team going down this field. And going into halftime, they're going to be one-dimensional, not in what they've done all year, but in the passing game, because they got to get it into that end zone, because they are also going to be receiving. It's the classic New England Patriots. Oh no, they're not going to be getting it.
No, they had the ball to start.
No,
Fitchburg's going to have the ball, so they absolutely need to try to get it into the end zone in order to make a dent here and go up by a full score before the half, because Fitchburg gets the ball back as soon as they come back out here.
Officially a gain of 4 on first down, and so make it 2nd down and 6 to go. Ball at the 34-yard line of the Red Raiders. Shotgun formation, a 1-back set, 4 receivers in the formation now. Gallagher scans the line. Gallagher asks for the football. 5-step set with time. Still some more time. Now rolling out. He's going to tuck. Looking downfield, he doesn't have it, so he will gain a yard and take a pop into the sideline, and Bill Goslin throws the flag as there was a late hit with Gallagher heading out of bounds.
If that's a personal foul, that's going to be a first down for Leominster more than likely.
The 15-yard would have resulted in an automatic first down, plus, of course, the yardage would result, and it would bring Leominster that much closer with 44.4 to play in the second quarter to field goal range, or potentially, obviously, scoring range here. Have not seen Pablo Rodriguez asked to really kick a field goal all year long, but in the Classic, you never know.
So this ball should be going down around, it looks like the 19-yard line,
That's
and
where
it
is.
So that 15-yard penalty puts Leominster into the red zone with 44 seconds. This absolutely helps their case.
First down, 10 to go from the 19-yard line at right hash. Shotgun set, 4 receivers in the formation. Couch is the lone back in the backfield with the quarterback Gallagher in the gun. Scans the line. He asks for the football. Gallagher back to pass. He's blitzed, goes short, pass complete to Couch. Couch got a quick chip, got a block to the sideline. He's out of bounds right around the 16-yard line. Goes for a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down and 7.
But the main thing is out of bounds. Stops the clock.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Kate. Good job there, getting out of bounds, realizing the situation. And I see 2 timeouts left on the scoreboard for Leominster, but it's been on 2 for a while. I believe they might only have 1, but they're going to have to play smart here if they plan on getting a score in these last 37 seconds.
And here comes the line. They will set down in that same 4 receivers set. Couch the lone back in the backfield with Gallagher in a gun. 2nd down, 7 to go. They need the 9-yard line for a first down. Right to left goes the Leominster march. Here's the snap. Gallagher flushed up from behind by Sal Figueroa.
Boy.
He goes low. Gallagher throws the ball incomplete, not in anybody's general neighborhood, but he was wide of the tackle spot, so that is an incomplete pass. Figueroa with great backside pursuit
He got
to cut
there
him down.
quick. He got there quick. That kid loves just like run. Okay.
No
run.
problem.
On
Go
both
run.
sides of the ball.
Sounds good. What do you need?
And from what we have seen, Sal Figueroa hasn't spent any time on the defensive side of the football this year. Maybe spot duty, but no surprise, everyone pulls out all the stops on Thanksgiving morning.
Absolutely. Both sides.
Here we go, 3rd down, 7 to go. 2 receivers tight to the formation to the left.
What are
Jack
they doing?
Young is in the slot set. Gallagher had 2 backs with him, and now Coach Palazzi asks for a timeout. Clock stopped with 32.5 seconds to play in the quarter. Leominster with the 7-6 lead.
I love it. They are mic'd. The officials are mic'd today. I think
They
it's
are
so
indeed.
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Bill
All-
Goslin, of course, with his experience as a college official,
No
he's familiar
problems.
with making the announcements over the PA.
I got this.
Sounding excellent, as
You
always.
know what I missed when I was doing some research for my Crocker Field piece? I noticed, number one, I think it was hysterical that the weights of all of the players were traditionally included in all of the pre-press leading up to the day. Like so-and-so is 154 pounds. I thought that was hysterical. Number two, every year both police departments would put in driving and parking instructions
Yes,
for
indeed.
everybody coming to the game. And then what I also loved is that in every meeting, historically, the entire officiating crew would be announced and where they were from, as to make sure that the rivalry was not tainted by having any, funny business going on with the officiating. So those are some of the things that
Saw
I do
officials from New York. We've seen
Yes.
officials from Harvard,
Yep.
Western Massachusetts, spread out all over the place. And, of course, this local crew has been calling the games now in some iteration of them for over 20 years. 3rd down, 7 to go. From the 16-yard line, the shotgun snap. Gallagher with some time. Looks over the middle of the field and throws
Ooh.
high and incomplete. Tended receiver was Jack Young. Mike Nowd in coverage
That would've
for
been
the Red
pretty.
Raiders.
That would have been pretty.
Had him open, too, just overthrown once again, which I think we've seen that being a constant problem with Pat Gallagher. I don't know if it's mechanics, but he tends to either overthrow or throw his receivers high. And that's what happened right there. Could have had 6, but looks like we're going to roll on 4th down here with 26 seconds left in the first half.
This is going to be the play that determines how Leominster goes in to the locker room here at halftime.
They're hoping that they've pushed the play deep enough that they won't
You
have
took,
Fitchburg coming out.
My thought, and I'll share that with you after this play.
Here we go, 4th down, 7 to go. Little counter motion, give it to Couch. Couch tries to follow a block, bounces it out to the left. He's grabbed toward the 10-yard line, crawling toward the 9. He needed the 9-yard line for the first down, but the mark is right on about the 10, and the wing officials both point that it's Fitchburg football. And Coach Palazzi not happy off the sideline, and I'm not entirely certain what he's concerned with there, other than maybe the spot was short.
Yeah.
But I think it looked like from our angle that Couch was down before he started to crawl toward the 9-yard line.
But
Yeah,
of course
I
you're
think
going to
so,
argue
too.
your case.
Absolutely,
You
you
have to
gotta
argue
plead
your
your
case.
And he had a better view of it from 40 yards away than the official did right at the ball. But I will say, if anything's been gained here by the Blue Devils, it's controlling these last 4 minutes of
Yes,
the first
indeed.
half and keeping the ball away from the Red Raiders. And now, eventually, with 30 seconds, actually 19 seconds left at the Red Raiders 10-yard line.
And here we go. Brooks with the snap. Give it to Figueroa.
Oh,
Figueroa
boy.
is hit, and down he goes in the backfield for a short loss on the play. And the unpiling process is where you're going to watch for any post-play action. And that one, clean. I saw the officials crashing just to make sure. But clock continues to run here, and
Gonna
the
be
last
no
seconds will come off the clock. And that's the end of the first half. In the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic. 7-6. Leominster on top of Fitchburg as the teams head toward the locker rooms. And what a first half it has been. We've had blow-ups of emotion. We've had exciting football. We had an unfortunate injury which led to a long delay. It's been a four-season kind of day in the first half of action alone.
We've had a little bit of everything, and I suppose the best thing to look at is Leominster's going into the locker rooms leading 7-6, and just imagine if this game turns on an extra point. You know, everything we've talked about, but right now it's that one extra point, that PAT, that has Leominster in the lead.
And the history of the rivalry proves that 1 point can make all the difference. Leominster 7, Fitchburg 6 at the half. If you're joining us on Leominster TV, we'll break, and you will, of course, enjoy some of the performances by the bands and get to listen to our halftime show on the K-Zone as well. We'll recap your first half of action. We will preview other scores going on around the region and second half action here from Crocker
It's all
Field.
blah, blah, blah.
7-6 Leominster on top of Fitchburg at the half. A break, and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Studio as we come back to Crocker Field, the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic. Alongside Kate Robbins and Bill Thomas, I am Todd Robbins. Thank you so much for joining us here today on the K-Zone. Our halftime show for this Classic is brought to you by Hometown Bank. We say that's my bank because we feel like our bank is looking out for us. Hometown Bank wants you to call them your bank. Hometown Bank knows what it takes to earn your trust. They don't answer to Wall Street, they answer to you. Visit hometowncoop.com to learn more. Hometown Bank, Sack Boulevard, Leominster, and 7 other area locations. Halftime here at the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. It's a 7-6 Leominster lead right now in what has been a back-and-forth game on the field. Not many points scored, though, and just the 1 point, the missed extra point, the separation between these two teams, and neither side has scored since early in the first quarter of action. Kate's got the first half recap coming up for you. It's brought to you by Lottie's Jeep, Central Street in Leominster, home of the most awarded SUV lineup in history. Lottie's Jeep of Leominster has the Jeep you want. Kate, Lottie's Jeep presents your first half recap. Let me try that again. Kate, Lottie's Jeep presents your first half recap.
Nobody's surprised you only unmuted your own mic. Nobody's surprised at all. All right, let's take a look at team totals first. Blue Devils side of the ball, they've had 8 first downs. They are 4 of 7 on third down conversion efficiency. They are 0 of 2 on fourth down conversions. As a team, they've had 17 rushes for 63 yards. They're averaging 3.7 yards per carry. They are 8 of 17 in the air for 73 yards rushing. They're averaging 9.1 receiving. 9.1 yards is their average for their receiving. So 136 total yards of offense for the Blue Devils. If we take a look at the Red Raiders side of the ball, they've had 5 first downs. They are 1 of 3 in third down efficiency. They are 0 of 1 in fourth down efficiency. If we take a look at the other notable stats for the team, 15 rushes for 113 yards. The Red Raiders averaging 7.5 yards per carry. They are 1 of 3 in the air for completions. That is a total of 114 yards of offense for the Red Raiders of Fitchburg. Now let's take a look, if my computer wants to work. Let's take a look at individual contributions. Blue Devils rushing attack. Adam Couch, 12 rushes, 53 yards. He's averaging 4.4 yards per carry. His long has been for 17. Pat Gallagher has had 3 rushes for 1 yard. Justice Reynolds, 1 rush for 7 yards. And Connor Marchand has had 1 rush for 3 yards. If we take a look at passing, once again, Pat Gallagher, 8 of 17 passing for 73 yards, 1 of which was for a touchdown. If we take a look at the receiving core, Adam Couch has been targeted once, 1 reception for 3 yards. Brian Rodriguez targeted 3 times. He has 1 reception for 17 yards. And let's see, Connor Marchand has been targeted twice. He has 2 receptions for a total of 20 yards. And Dominic Vargas Vasquez was targeted 1 time as an eligible receiver, and he also has 1 reception. Now let's take a look at Fitchburg's side of the ball with individual contributions. No surprise here, Sal Figueroa has 11 rushes, 99 yards rushing. He's averaging 9 yards per carry. His long was for 48 yards, and he has the lone touchdown for the Fitchburg Red Raiders. Damian Nadal has 2 rushes for 2 yards. And Andrew Brooks, the quarterback, 2 rushes for 12 yards. Once again, Fitchburg, 15 rushes for 113 yards of rushing offense. Andrew Brooks from the quarterback spot, he has been 1 of 3 in the air for 1 yard passing. And if we take a look at the receiving, we have Devin DeLeon targeted once, no receptions, and Ozzie Guy targeted once for 1 reception. And that right there is your halftime recap, Todd.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. That's brought to you by Lottie's Jeep of Leominster. We need a quick break here?
Nope.
All right, we're going to stay right
if
here.
you don't want one.
Right here at Crocker Field then, and continue with our coverage of the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic. With Kate Robbins and Bill Thomas, I am Todd Robbins. Happy to have you along with us. It's time to check our Happy Jacks halftime scoreboard. A lot of great games going on out there in the region. A lot of historic rivalries, a lot of games that are new rivalries going on out there as well. So we're going to get you caught up on all of those now. And Happy Jacks brings us our halftime scoreboard on this Thanksgiving Day. Happy Jacks Restaurant, 785 North Main Street in Leominster. All the spices of the Southwest blended with the flavors of the Gulf Coast, served in a festive island setting. Happy Jacks is more than a restaurant. It's an attitude wrapped in a fiesta. Check them out on the web at happyjacksrestaurant.com. Games going on out there right now. Out in Shrewsbury. Wachusett and Shrewsbury tied at 15 at the half in that rivalry. Tantasqua on top of Shepherd Hill 14-9 at the half. Westboro leads Algonquin 37-8 at the half. Neshoba third quarter action on top of Clinton 28-6. Marlboro and Hudson just 12 points between the two of them, 6-6 at the half. Tingsboro on top of Groton Dunstable 6-0 at the half, and Watertown leads Belmont 14-0 at the half. In scores from last night, Quabbin topped Lunenburg 32-17. St. Bernard's beat North Middlesex 34-24. Neshoba Valley Tech beats Monty Tech 40-22. And Worcester North takes out Worcester South 47-6 in our finals from the Eve Classics last night. So our score here at the half from Crocker Field, 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, 112th Classic. It's Leominster 7 and Fitchburg 6. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with our first half player of the half, and also we'll take a look at second half action when we come back. You are listening to the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg on the K-Zone, WPKZ.
Leominster Blue Devils band's halftime show,
Yes.
directed by the great leader Barry that they have. And but this is nice to see Fitchburg getting into it and not only making a resurgence on the field, but also their band looks like they're renewed interest too.
No question about it. Historically, by the way, Fitchburg always had the larger marching band. That was always their thing. They always had the larger marching band. We were reading an article from 1941. Fitchburg had, get this, a 65-piece marching band to Leominster's like 30 or 32-piece marching band. And of course, over the years, those grew and grew and grew on both sides. And so congratulations to both communities for their musical performance as well. Hang on, our peak performance of the first half is brought to you by Fraticelli Oil. Somebody needs to give me a peak performance. I've got to maintain this job.
My peak performance, did you know Todd reads?
Believe it or not.
Todd reads.
He does.
What do you know? Peak performance. I am still going to go with Sal Figueroa right now. He has been doing the yeoman's work for the Fitchburg Red Raiders. So if anybody wants to disagree, go ahead.
He is the Fitchburg offense, has been thus far. He's controlled the game, and I'm sure you have the numbers that bear that out.
Yeah, would you like me to bring those back up?
While we're at it here at the half, why not?
All right.
I'm going to chime in with a little honorable mention. He really picked up the pace in the second quarter there. Mike Viola
Very
had
much
a great
so.
second quarter, both sides of the ball. So let's give Mike a little bit of props there too.
All right, so let's give you stats on both. Sal Figueroa, 11 rushes, 99 yards. He's averaging 9 yards per carry. His long is for 48 yards. He does have the one rushing touchdown for Fitchburg. And let's take a look at Mike Viola as well, especially on the receiving end of the ball. Mike Viola targeted 3 times, 3 receptions for 30 yards. He's averaging 10 yards per carry. His long is 17 yards, and he also is the only one with a touchdown on Leominster's side of the ball. So the 2 touchdown boys right now.
Our peak performance of the first half brought to you by Fraticelli Oil. How about our mid-game adjustments? They're brought to you by Viola's Fitchburg Tire and Service, a family-run business selling most major tire brands since 1964, offering a truly unique, free summer to winter tire storage. Time to get those winter tires put on right now online at fitchburgtire.com. Viola's Fitchburg Tire and Service, where the price we quote is the price you pay. Mid-game adjustments for both Leominster and Fitchburg. Floor is
first,
open.
Kate. Pick a team and tell me what
All right,
adjustment
I'm
they
going
need.
to talk about Leominster first, and it's not necessarily an adjustment. It's an adjustment that they've already made that I want to see continue. Right now, in the second quarter, they were able to contain Sal Figueroa. The vast majority of his rushes happened in the first quarter of play, especially in that first offensive drive for Fitchburg. So I want to see Leominster to continue to contain Figueroa, both in between the tackles and when he bounces it out to the outside. So Leominster, keep doing what you're doing. Keep Sal Figueroa honest, and I think that they will come out on top.
And I'm going to take the Fitchburg side of things, and I think it's going to center around Sal Figueroa too. They need to open the field up for him, and I think they've gone to him a little too much in the first half. They need to get some of the other offensive weapons involved to open the field up so Figueroa can do what he does best. And I'm going to pay a little more attention to the Blue Devil defense, but see how they're packing it in. You know, they're forcing the issue on Figueroa, which has got to leave other opportunities for other offensive players on the Fitchburg side. I think that's where they need to make a slight adjustment and then take full advantage of what Figueroa brings to the field once they open it up for him.
And what does the voice of the Classic think?
And those are our mid-game adjustments brought to you by Viola's Fitchburg Tire and Service for our 136th meeting of Leominster
The sun's
and
back.
Fitchburg. And, you know, I got to tell you, great to be in this historic venue today. Next year, 2018, is Crocker Field's centennial season, the 100th anniversary of Crocker Field next year. And I'll tell you, a phenomenal venue here. I know the folks here all across the community, they want to be able to do the type of full-on restoration and renovation like Leominster was able to do with Doyle Field a number of years ago. For those of you that live in Fitchburg, are from around the region, high school football fans, I know the Crocker Field Restoration Committee in the city of Fitchburg, along with the Fitchburg Public Schools, would really appreciate your support as well. And getting behind some restoration plans here at Crocker Field. This is really a gem for this community in downtown with a historic history that Kate, of course, walked us through as part of our recipe for a classic that you can find right now on our Facebook page at WPKZ Radio, connected to our SoundCloud. So find that link out there as well right now for more information. But I'll tell you, what a great venue, great history, and want to see it preserved for a long into the future.
Yes, and absolutely, you're absolutely right there. One of the things we have to remember this entire site is gifted by Mr. Alva Crocker of the Crocker Burbank Manufacturing Company. His father was one of the first paper manufacturers who was actually born in Leominster in 1801. And he, his adopted hometown of Fitchburg, he's able to really start up the paper manufacturing business and really get things started. But it was Alva Crocker, his grandson, who in 1917, at the prodding of course, his wife, asked him to gift this site to the youngsters, to the pupils, the children of Fitchburg. It was to be used specifically for the young children of Fitchburg to be able to have their sports kind of highlighted and on a stage that was absolutely state of the art at the time in 1918. This site has several different athletic fields and different purposes that it has served the young children and the pupils of Fitchburg Public Schools. And without Mr. Crocker's absolute amazing philanthropic gift, we wouldn't be up here on the roof today. I
know, and that is really the truth about it. And getting to learn a little bit about Crocker Field, I think one of the special things that I figured out after all these years, wondering to myself, why was one side of the grandstands rounded? I never understood that. It was like it's kind of an odd choice for a football field. I knew there was a baseball component to this facility, but when I was growing up, the baseball field was directly opposite of where that seating location is. The backstop, if you will, was out directly away from us here on the roof toward the clubhouse is where home plate was. Come to find out in the research and looking at the historic drawings of the plan of this facility, the original backstop for the football field was this rounded end. Yeah. There are pictures out there with, of course, the netting out for the baseball field. That was the original backstop. One of the things that happened is in the first 5 to 10 years of the fenestration, having the baseball field up against that curved part of the stadium, it goes directly into the heart of the football field. And so it would get chewed up so badly that they needed to change the fenestration of Crocker Field, and they actually had to elongate the track in order to accommodate it. But you'd have a situation where the field wasn't getting chewed up by the football field. Round of applause goes up here at Crocker Field as they announce the attendance, 2,700 plus here at Crocker Field today for the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. That's great news. 99 years to the date of the first Leominster-Fitchburg game played here at the Circle Street grounds of Crocker Field. Second half kickoff coming right now. Ball in the tee, 40-yard line at our left. Anthony Larson on the approach, the right-footed kick. It's a line drive, and it will be returned on the run. Here comes Isaiah Perez. Perez lost the football. Football loose on the ground. There's a battle for it. There's blue jerseys. There's also red jerseys. Who's on top of it? The officials are peeling apart the pile. Leominster says they have it, and they do. It's Blue Devil football. Leominster has the football at the Fitchburg 24-yard line. What a turn of events to open the second half.
And I think that might have been Isaiah Perez on the run back. I know it wasn't Sal Figueroa. They kicked away from him, rightfully so. I'd expect them to do that. But great turn of events here for the Blue Devils here to essentially get the ball in both halves. First drive in the first half, first drive in the second half with great field position. 9 seconds into this second half of action. Leominster on a turnover, on a return, fumble. 7-6 their lead. They've got the football, and they're going left to right. First down and 10 out of an eye at the Red Raider 23-yard line. Under center goes Gallagher. Couches the back man in the eye. Here's the snap. Fake it, roll out to the right. Throw underneath, pass complete for Connor Marchand. Marchand's got right sideline, tiptoeing down and whistled out of bounds inside of the 10-yard line at the 9. Nice opening play there and a good use of the fullback once again. And we talked about that. I think the short passing game is the way to go.
Indeed it is, without question.
A little technical difficulties here. We got all kinds of power in the air here.
All right, nobody move. So many wireless transmitters and everything else going on up here. Thank you for bearing with us on that throughout the day. But yes, 2 receivers. Here we go. On Leominster, first down and goal to go at the Red Raider 9. Out of the eye, here's the snap. The give was for Marchand on the back door. Marchand hit after plowing his way forward. Gains maybe 2 on the play. I think they're to about the 7-yard line.
6 or the 7, yep.
Going into the sunny end of the field, or the sunnier end, sun on that side of the stadium, making it difficult to see those hash marks down that end.
Everything kind of blends in down there, but this is the way we like it.
Oh, indeed.
Natural turf.
Great
Chris.
crowd on hand. And our next break in the action, by the way, we've got some really good news.
Oh, yes.
We get to pass along as well. So stand by for that. Walk to the line, I formation. Marchand the down fullback. Couch is dotting. 2 receivers open side left. Gallagher gets set to go under center. Gallagher asks for the football. 2 fakes. Here's a rollout to the left. He's got some room. He throws underneath. Pass is complete to Marchand. He's in the end zone. It's a Blue Devil touchdown.
There's my guy, Connor Marchand. You know, we've been talking about him all game on both sides of the ball. I don't think there's been a more important player on the field up to this point in the game.
They've run that play to the right successfully 2 or 3 times. This time they go backside, they go to the left, and underneath an almost a 3-quarter style throw from Gallagher, and he gets it into Connor Marchand for the touchdown.
I mean, I wasn't even sure where he was going with that, and all of a sudden Marchand just popped out
Popped
there
out.
on
I
the
didn't
left side.
see it either.
There
I thought he was going to look for Rodriguez, and I said,
Yeah.
that's not good. He's in
Nope.
coverage.
He knew where he was going.
He did.
13-6 Leominster's lead, pending the extra point.
Big extra point right
Pablo
here, too.
Rodriguez does the kicking. Pat Gallagher holds. Good snap. Ball is down. Flag is down. Kick is up and good for the moment. Offside is signaled against the Red Raiders.
Decline.
They decline it. 9:49 to play here in the third quarter. The score, Leominster 14 and Fitchburg 6. A break and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic here on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers joining us on Leominster TV. A chance to thank all of our great volunteers that are joining us today. They're led, of course, by Bradley Bedard and Jack Selly for Leominster TV, and a great cast joining us today on behalf of Leominster TV to bring you these great angles. Of course, first Thanksgiving on Facebook Live today. The second live Thanksgiving transmitted from Crocker Field. Last one was 2002. I was on a cherry picker over on the far side, blowing around in the breeze on the baseball field. And that, of course, is great to be here as well. And welcoming you back on the K-Zone here on WPKZ alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins here. 9:49 to play here in the third quarter and a 14-6.
Todd, you said you've got
Leominster
some
lead.
good news for us.
I do have some good news for you. Let's get the kickoff in. I'll get it to you on the change of possession. Here we go. Larson on the approach. The kick left to right and end over end. It will be returned by Sal Figueroa from his 17-yard line. Figueroa gets some room. Now works his way to the left sideline. Couple of men to beat. Will he get the angle? He reverses fields, crossing midfield. He's hit from behind. Now taken down just shy of the 40 at the 41-yard line. Anthony Larson, the kicker, figured into it as well. And he was taken down right around the 41, making the 42-yard line. Fitchburg football, first down and 10.
Got to tell you, a trait that Figueroa displays quite prominently is he does not run out of bounds. He
No.
gets near that sideline, he cuts it inside. He wants to gain every yard he can.
It's a 41-yard kickoff return by Sal Figueroa for the Red Raiders of Fitchburg.
And Figueroa is still on the field, dotting this offset eye to the left, and under center goes Brooks. Brooks the snap, it's a sweet pitch coming to the left side. He's got left edge as he works across the 40, 35. Now he's got left sideline, and he's off to the races and into the end zone. It's a Fitchburg touchdown. Sal Figueroa, untouched down the left side of the field.
There's that outside edge again, 42-yard touchdown rush by Figueroa. Leominster's kryptonite all year long has been that outside rush. As soon as you get outside the tackles on the Blue Devils defense and you get into that second level, the Devils have been having a really hard time containing any rushes against any opponent. And with somebody as talented as Sal Figueroa, he's going to go to pay dirt every time.
And when you got a picket fence full of blockers out there,
Yes,
that
indeed.
definitely helps. And that was a well-designed play. He had some pulling linemen out there, along with his lead fullback, I believe, leading them around the corner, and that's what you get, a touchdown.
Nowd fumbled the snap the last time, got this one, put it down. Saavedra's kick is up, and it's good. Team's coming back up the field. 9:26 to play in quarter three, the score. Leominster 14 and Fitchburg 13. We break and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers on Leominster TV. Opportunity to thank our great supporters of our coverage of Leominster High School football on Leominster TV. The El Camino Restaurant, Troy Hebert Construction, MP Crowley Company Incorporated, Dream Kitchens and Baths, and United Solutions. Thank all of you for your support of LTV Action Sports all season long.
Well, that was a quick drive, Kate. You got a drive summary?
I do.
Stand by 1 second here.
Oh, yeah. rock
We built
and
this city
roll.
on talented football today, the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins here with you. Ball on the tee, 40-yard line at our right. Saavedra has the ball on the tee.
Drive summary, 1 play, 42 yards, 17 seconds. Go.
And here's Saavedra's kick. A low ground ball, misplayed by Brian Rodriguez. Leominster has to dive on it. Football is still loose at the 30. It's picked up by Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets popped crossing the 35, and he's dragged down at the 39-yard line. You never usually want to pick up a football, but I don't think Rodriguez had a choice. If he tried to dive on it, he may have pushed it back to Fitchburg. And a flag is down. There's more pushing, shoving, screaming, more conversation going on the sideline. Player just chucked his helmet coming over to the near sideline. A lot of fire getting extinguished over there. As the discussion continues over on the side, there is a flag down as well. This may add 15 yards onto the return for Leominster.
Trying to look to see what the Fitchburg player is so angry about. I don't see a replay here, but number 20, Austin English, is beside himself over here, fighting off his teammates, his coaches. He doesn't want to talk to anybody, and I'm going to be surprised if he gets himself back in the game.
Indeed, a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty tacked onto the end of the Leominster play. A misplayed football results in great Leominster field position. 1st and 10 into Red Raider territory at the Red Raider 46-yard line. Here comes Gallagher to the line. 2 receivers out there. Brian Rodriguez is wide to the left. Mike Viola slot left. Marchand the fullback. Couch dots the I. Here's the snap. Give it to Couch. Couch takes the first boom, then a second, crossing the 45 and
All
down
right.
at the 44-yard
Before
line.
anything else happens, tell us the good news.
Yes, the good news is we got to speak to Leominster High School Vice Principal Steve Dubzinski. Came up here at the half to share an update on Zach Del Judas. The good news is that was, as we had kind of hoped, all precautionary. Del Judas was backboarded and taken to the hospital in a precautionary way. The good news is he was moving all extremities. They were very optimistic that it was nothing more than just needing a follow-up check at the hospital. Out of an abundance of caution, they took him there. They say Del Judas was talking, he was moving, so that is all good news on this Thanksgiving
his mom wanted
Day.
him to go back in the game.
And yes, gotta love him. We'll try to get that story to you in a second. 2nd and 9, Gallagher's back to pass. Floats one downfield left. It is long and incomplete. Isaiah Perez covering Mike Viola, the intended receiver, down that sideline. And yes, so he
Funniest part of the story.
This is the best part of the story. So we had seen his parents out on the field, and of course, Steve Dubzinski standing there with them. They're like, okay, everything's okay. And, Mrs. Del Judas is trying to recover.
Very emotional.
Very emotional, as you can imagine. Your son is down on Thanksgiving Day, all of that. And they go, no, the good news is he's okay. And she looks at him and goes, so he's going to go back in the game?
Go back in the game then?
That's a great
Mike,
line.
He's there
That's a
taping
great
him
line.
to the backboard.
Yeah.
Just cut him
10
loose.
minutes later,
Yeah.
he's on the backboard.
I'm surprised. I think the ambulance is waiting for him to get checked out to get him back here before the second half is over.
Put me in, coach.
3rd
Red
down
light
and
him
9.
back to the field.
Great news, and that's always great on a Thanksgiving Day game, regardless of what color you're wearing.
And our thoughts with you.
Gallagher in a gun. Back to pass. 4 receivers out in the formation. He looks high and incomplete. Mike Viola, the intended receiver, that was just shy of Isaiah Perez in coverage again. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
It's something we've seen a couple of times already. It looked like Gallagher picked the wrong receiver to throw to. He had Jack Young wide open underneath there. And I'm not sure if he didn't see him, didn't look at him, or didn't think he was part of the play, but wide open there would have been an easy 1st down.
Leominster going to play field position here. Connor Marchand in punt formation. Stands at his own 44. Good snap. Marchand punt away. Angling toward the sideline. Takes a great Leominster bounce. Can they chase it down? They do, but it carries into the end zone for a touchback. Mike Viola tried to goal line or just shy of the goal line, and he couldn't do it. Momentum took him into the end zone. Change of possession at 8:12 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 14-13. Is Leominster's lead. Our second half brought to you by Fidelity Bank of Leominster. The idea that businesses do well creates a brighter today and tomorrow for everyone involved. It's a win-win-win. Now, who doesn't like that? Your Fidelity Bank, helping you get where you want to be with heart.
How many wins? 3?
It's
Win,
a win-win.
win,
Win.
3 wins. Hey, good news, gentlemen.
Yes.
I can feel my toes again.
Oh,
I'm
the
so
sun-
excited.
The sun's shining on our back, and all is well at Crocker Field.
We'll have another check of our time and temperature coming up in a moment.
It's about as beautiful as conditions I've ever been around here.
Here come the Red Raiders. The snap and the give this time is for Nadal, the fullback. He gets popped as he turns the right corner of the formation, and he was cut down after gaining 3, maybe 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6.
I'd call that a keep him honest play right there. You can't just keep feeding Sal Figueroa. You know, the Blue Devils are keen on him, even though he did bust one last possession. But I think you got to keep the other offensive plays engaged.
There we go.
2nd down and 6 to go. Coming out of the huddle for the Red Raiders, coming from right to left. Ball at the 24-yard line at right hash. I backfield, Figueroa dots, a receiver to either side. Brooks, 3-step set, looks left on the slant, passes complete underneath, and the race is on for Devin De Leon. De Leon across the 45 and pulled down around the 47-yard line. Mike Viola was battling with him as they went to the ground, trying to take the football away from him, and they continue to jockey for it as they separate the players, but it is a 1st down for De Leon, a great catch underneath.
24-yard pitch and catch from Brooks to De Leon, and that's probably the prettiest reception that we've seen from Fitchburg. I believe it might even be the first reception.
I believe it was.
that
I'd have to say it's probably the best, the most well-thrown ball Brooks has been
Absolutely.
had come out of his hand today, right on target for a big gain.
On 1st down and 10, the snap out of the eye. Flip come to the near side, Figueroa. Figueroa got left edge again. Tries to hurdle, going to the near side, crossing midfield, and down he goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Right about the mark, very close to a 1st down, right around the Leominster 42-yard line.
Short by half a yard. If the field's marked off right. Nice job there by Figueroa to try to leap over Viola, but he was having none of it right there on the sideline.
No measurement there?
No, they're going to say it is going to be a 2nd down and very short. Clock stopped as the play went out of bounds. 6:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. 14-13, Leominster's lead.
2nd down and about a sniff.
Indeed. I backfield, Figueroa the back man, Nadal the down fullback. Here's the snap, give it to Nadal. The power back, plows into the A-gap. He stood up. The wing officials moved forward right about to the pylon at about the 41.5-yard line. And Bill Goslin said that's enough. That's a 1st down for the Red Raiders.
Are they going to give him to the 41?
Yes, they did. Move the ball to the 41-yard line at left hash. So Brooks into his huddle. Sends his line to the ball. Nadal and then Figueroa in the eye. 2 receivers go out to the right of the formation. Brooks under center. Here's the snap. 3-step set. Looks screen down the line. Passes complete into the hands of Ozzie Guy. Guy loses a defender across the 40, and he's brought down right around the 37-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Long way to throw that ball out there in that right flat. That play took a long time to develop, and you know, fortunately the Blue Devils were out there to cover it, but that could have been trouble for the Blue Devils.
And I saw those plays on the coach's video, Billy, earlier in the week. That was something I saw. Those screen passes do take a long time, as you said, to develop, and they are screaming for the route to be jumped.
Yeah,
or
I
the
know
ball's being swatted down.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the cornerback isn't thinking next time he sees that.
2 fakes, nope, a handoff to Figueroa, the 2nd man through, and now Figueroa's got some room into the open field, bounces out to the left side. Will Cora be able to shut the edge down? Figueroa leaps to the pylon, he's into the end zone. It's a Fitchburg touchdown.
That's exactly what he does best. 37 yards to pay dirt for Sal Figueroa for the Red Raiders of Fitchburg. Shifty, that is the word du jour that we've been talking about all day long. Nobody, once he gets into the open field, seemingly nobody can bring him down on their own.
Brian Rodriguez is down for the Blue Devils inside the numbers, well behind the play. The grain of the play went to the left side of the field, so this potentially there could have been a crackback on a block. I'm not even sure if he will be in the frame if we were to look at a replay of Figueroa's touchdown as the play ran to the left side of the field.
Looks like a lower extremity injury. He is writhing on the field in pain, holding on to his helmet. And you have trainers from both staffs, Leominster and Fitchburg, taking a look at him. But it does appear to be a lower extremity injury, but I have been wrong in the past.
5.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fitchburg has regained their lead at 19-14. They scored the first points of the football game and have trailed pretty much ever since. They've regained the lead with 5:30 to play here in quarter number 3.
Right now, I don't think Leominster's defense has an answer if Fitchburg's offense is able to be as multidimensional as they have been in this offensive possession, being able to complete passes on that screen pass and then mix things up with a run from Sal Figueroa, both right through that A gap, right up the middle and the throat and the heart of Leominster's defense. But he's been doing a great job bouncing it out to the outside as well.
If Rodriguez is unable to continue, and of course Zach Del Judas is no longer here at the field, although we're told, again, precautionary trip to the hospital for him, but that takes two of Leominster's downfield weapons out of their offense,
correct,
in addition to the holes it creates in the defense. So Leominster's starting to have a personnel problem,
yep,
just out of experience. So now it's going to be next man up. Who are the next folks up that maybe get to write their Thanksgiving story? And there are plenty of opportunities where players have got their chance. Both teams being sent to the benches again, and perhaps another extended delay here at Crocker Field. This does not look good, Bill Thomas.
No.
I do tend to agree with you. I haven't seen an official signal one way or another.
They have sent both Leominster and Fitchburg to their respective sidelines, but Brian Rodriguez is up, but not on his own power.
No, he's being assisted off to the sidelines, not able to put any weight on his right leg.
Right leg
Yeah.
injury, it looks like. We don't know ankle, knee, but it is a lower extremity, right side.
So Brian Rodriguez assisted off to the sideline with 5.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter, and a 19-14 Fitchburg lead. Pending a point after here. They were setting up for the conventional point after.
Something tells me we're going to see possibly a 2-point conversion attempt here, whether it's 5 or 6. But something tells me also that Fitchburg's not done scoring. They're not going to play like they need this. This is a game-turning play right here.
Correct.
I think they plan on getting more.
I think you're absolutely correct. Oh, they're going for 2, it looks like.
The Leominster coaching staff up here down the line from us seems to be convinced they're going for 2, and they are. Here comes Andrew Brooks, the quarterback, running onto the field. So they've decided they want to turn the point totals right now, turn it into a touchdown plus extra point football game on this one. So here we go. 2-point conversion attempt for the Red Raiders off the touchdown. 2-back set in a gun for the first time today. Figueroa now sets up 3 receiver slot to the right. Fake the handoff. Brooks keeps it himself. Hole opens. Brooks is in. 2-point conversion is good. Team's going back up the field. 5.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Fitchburg 21, Leominster 14. A break. We're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers over on Leominster TV, and Bill Thomas, they made that look very easy on that 2-point conversion.
They made that drive look easy, actually, Todd, and I'm not at all surprised they went for 2 there. And I have to say, out of that formation, putting Figueroa in motion and then having him split out, I think it just opened up the field for that quarterback draw, and it worked to perfection.
And the defense had to try to figure out who and how they were going to cover it, and they didn't find a way to do that.
I think the option number 2 was the fullback, and he didn't get the ball either.
No, not at all.
Quarterback keep, successful.
Back to historic Crocker Field on the K-Zone. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins with you on this Thanksgiving Thursday. A happy Thanksgiving to one and all on this Thanksgiving Thursday. Fitchburg 21 and Leominster 14. Before the turkey, we've got a quarter and a half of football remaining here from Crocker Field. Damian Zavedra on the approach. Hard line drive kick is mishandled by the upmen. It does eventually get corralled and returned there by Fernando Aguilar. Aguilar taken down right around the 34-yard line of Leominster. He's able to play the ball, move it forward maybe a yard, yard and a half. They actually move it back to the 33-yard line, and that's where Leominster will have the football. First and 10, now to the 32 as the ball keeps going backwards.
That seems to have been happening all
Jose
day.
Mateo in on the tackle, that special teams tackle on that kickoff.
Now, Leominster has a couple of interesting things here. Fitchburg has been able to run their offense with such efficiency. They're moving so quickly. Leominster really needs to not only get the ball in the end zone, but they need to take a lot of time doing it in order so that the time can come off of the clock and they stop giving Fitchburg the ball, because right now, Sal Figueroa and the Fitchburg offense have essentially been running at will in this second half.
Indeed they have. Here's a first down and 10 for Leominster. They're on 32 going left to right. Gallagher out of the gun, snap back to pass. Got some time, now forced to his right. Floats it downfield long to nobody in particular. Pass is incomplete. Jack Young, the closest blue shirt there. 3 Fitchburg secondary players were also in the neighborhood as that pass fell incomplete.
And that's one of those things that we've been seeing throughout the season for the Blue Devils. Pat Gallagher, very, very talented quarterback in that Leominster backfield, but he seemingly has a little bit of trouble. There's either a chemistry issue or communication issue, and sometimes when he's missing his receivers, he's not missing them by a little, he's missing them by a lot. And in those types of situations, in a pass like that, I mean, if he's throwing it away, it's one thing, but if he's going for a receiver, you're not even giving them the opportunity in order to make a play in some of these instances.
2nd down and 10 from the 32. Right hash, 4 receivers set. Gallagher in the gun. He's got Couch with him in the backfield. Here's the snap. It's bobbled.
Oh.
Gallagher has to pick it up. Busted play. He gets a block. He'll bounce it to the outside left and battle his way to the 35-yard line. A hard-earned gain of 2. And call it 3rd down, 3rd and about, they'll make it 7.
Looks like Gallagher wasn't sure what he should do with that ball once he picked it up there, and kind of running in place almost. A lot of effort for a couple of yards, but thankfully he was able to corral that loose football and turn it into something positive.
When you start the play playing hot potato with yourself,
yeah,
things don't generally go very well because you're looking down, you got to secure the football, and then as you're looking up, not that I've played football, but as you're looking up, my thought would be how many red jerseys are about to kill me?
Once you bend down and then, right, here comes the tsunami.
There's got to be something else wrong if I'm playing hot potato.
Leominster needs to move the football to their own 42 from their 35 on this 3rd and 7. Back to pass. Gallagher, some time, looks underneath and throws. Pass is complete, going to the sideline, and it is marked complete in the hands of Jack Young at the 45-yard line, and it's a Leominster 1st down. They needed 7, they got 10.
Good job there. Once again, Pat waiting and coming to it was underneath guy, and I think that's where he needs to look. Let his wide receivers drive the corners back, then look for the crossing underneath receiver or the fullback, and that's where they've had the most success today.
And the situation becomes you want to get multiple people involved in the offense because then you have to have Fitchburg defending multiple people on that other side of the ball. Right now we got Gallagher from the gun.
And the snap and the give is to Couch. Finds some room straight up the middle. Battles his way to midfield, just shy maybe. Gain of 5, and it will be a 2nd down and 5.
I got worried. I saw you swigging the water, and I was like, I don't think he's going to be able to get to that.
Hey, I got back in the play.
Nice job.
We're a champ. No excuses, play like the champion today.
Couple tendencies I noticed here. Fitchburg's playing a little more wide open defense. They're dropping 5 back in coverage now. And with a couple of linebackers and 3 down linemen, and they're almost daring the Blue Devils to run the ball now.
2nd and 5 from midfield. 4 receivers set. Here's the snap for Gallagher. Fake at the Couch, kept it himself. Gallagher finds himself through the left slot. Flag down back into the line from the umpire, but this play stops right around the Fitchburg 40. Dave Palazzi is incensed, but this, I think, is going to be a holding call where that flag went.
Pretty much hit the player that I think was the offending player.
It is a hold, indeed.
Thanksgiving tidings from Matt Hool. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. I feel so special. Thanksgiving tidings for my favorite.
Maddie Hool, always good to see you. No, I want to shake the hand. I appreciate the water, but thank you so much, Maddie. Happy Thanksgiving.
I want both, Matt. Happy Thanksgiving.
Maddie makes a great point. The water is blue. Leominster is blue.
But he brought
the sky is blue.
But he brought us
Take it for what you will.
Swedish fish.
Thank you so much,
Thanks, Maddie.
We appreciate it.
Maddie the man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So the foul is assessed against Leominster, and it's going to drop them back. It's going to be a 2nd down and 13 from their own 42-yard line after the penalty is assessed.
And so here we go on that 2nd and 13 from their 42 going left to right. Leominster needs the football to go to the Fitchburg 45 for a 1st down. 4 receivers set, Couch in the backfield with Gallagher. He scans the line, asks for the ball, and now whistles and a flag kills the play. Flag came from the referee. What do we got?
I think we got a
procedure, yes, against Leominster.
Looked like one of the offensive linemen.
Another 5-yard penalty coming up.
Offensive lineman tried to get back in the blocking scheme a little too quickly.
3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Fitchburg 21 and Leominster 14. And Leominster's drive going the wrong way downfield, Billy.
You usually don't see that flag coming from the backfield like that. It's usually from one of the sideline officials that are on the line of scrimmage, but obviously something was
What was
picked
that
up
called?
there.
That was a 10-yard penalty against Leominster for a procedure.
Hey, thanks.
Isn't
A
it a 5-yard
penalty, excuse me.
I think unless they change the rules.
No, you're
Okay.
good. No,
I've
5
been
yards.
I've been
I
out
know
of
you've been
touch
out
for a
all
while.
year. Yes, it was 5 yards on that one, 10 on the previous play, 15 in the wrong direction total.
When you're in Fitchburg, those kinds of penalties are 10 yards. They double them.
4 receivers in the formation. Couches with Gallagher. Second and very long. Back to pass with some time. Looks out to the left and throws. Pass on target to the fullback, Connor Marchand. He battles his way to the Leominster 45-yard line, and that puts him back 10 yards away from the mark they need, which is the Fitchburg 45.
Nice job there getting some of that penalty yardage back. But once again, Connor Marchand, the receiver of choice out of the backfield, and I think that could be the key to success here heading towards the fourth quarter because the wide receivers just aren't involved, and everything seems to be flowing out of the backfield right now for the Blue Devils.
Right. Right now it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 from midfield for the Blue Devils. Again, going left to right on your radio dial.
From the 45.
Oh, no, from the 45.
Leominster's 45. The left side of
know.
midfield as it is. Coach Palazzi calling in changes to Pat Gallagher. Now Gallagher has to scan the line. 4 receivers around in the formation, 2 on either side. Gallagher now asks for the ball on 3rd and 10. Back to pass. Some time. Floats looking over the middle. It's Brian Rodriguez back into the football game. And Rodriguez could not reel it in, but that's really good news as Brian Rodriguez had to go off with some assistance not long ago.
All right, so what's the magic potion they're using over there? Because he couldn't walk, never mind, run down the field, but he looks none the worse for wear right now, and it's good to see.
Tape. Lots of tape. And it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I agree. The adrenaline's running a little deeper, a little
Snap whatever
faster.
it is back into place and let's party.
Yep.
Indeed.
Fortunately, that brings up 4th down here.
It does. A 4th down and 10. Connor Marchand, his own 33-yard line to punt. Good snap to Marchand. Puts a foot into it. High hanger toward the sideline. It hops, takes a great Leominster bounce inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 16-yard line of Fitchburg. A great rugby-style punt from Connor Marchand. And there is a flag down at the end of the play.
Late flag again.
Oh, boy.
See if there was some extracurricular activity.
A couple of players exchanging pleasantries about what they're going to be having for dessert later on.
And so here comes Bill Goslin's decision on this after consulting with his crew. It's a dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Fitchburg. Tack another 15-yard penalty onto the end of that play. They're right about the 16-yard line. They're trying to get the spot.
I think, from the 25.
So the umpire right now is standing right around, it looks like, the 25-yard line. But the spot of the football, they've got to move down to the 16-yard line before the enforcement. So here we go. They're moving into place right now. 2:12 to play here in the 3rd.
So should bring it to the 1.
Yeah, well, if they enforce 15, or it'll be half the distance.
Yeah, I think we're going to be at about the 8-yard line.
That's what they're doing. They did the math. They move it to the 8-yard line, as Bill said. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders from their own 8. Coming right to left with 2:12 to play here in the 3rd quarter with a 21-14 lead for Fitchburg.
I'm not sure why they were standing by the 25 to begin with, but I think we got it right.
I think it is all settled now, and here we go. A gun again, and here comes Figueroa, shifted out slot to the left. Sets up 3 receivers left, the snap, give it to Damian Nadal. Nadal takes it off tackle to the right with some room. Forward he goes across the 15 and the 20 and dragged down around the 21-yard line.
And on the tackle, Brian Rodriguez, and I think he was the last man there, and good thing he did get him wrapped up because I think the only other thing that was going to slow down with Nadal was the goal line.
It's going to be a gain of 14 on the play for the Red Raiders. And the clock continues to tick down. We are now under 2 minutes to
They had a play and a personnel problem, but now into the huddle goes the play. It was Caleb Smith was the last receiver off the Fitchburg sideline into the huddle, and I don't know if he either forgot the play or was concerned that maybe he wasn't supposed to be in. But he is now in. 2 receivers wide to the left. Here comes Figueroa slot to the left. And now a timeout taken by Coach Tom DiGeronimo. Stops the clock with 1 minute and 34 seconds to play in the 3rd. Fitchburg the 21-14 lead. Chance for us to check the time and temperature here in the 2nd half. It's brought to you by Chapdelaine GMC. The right truck can make your job easier. And Chapdelaine GMC has been selling and servicing commercial trucks since 1969. Chapdelaine has the best selection of commercial used trucks, period. Stop by Route 2A in Lunenburg or online at chappygm.com. 10 minutes past 12, 37 degrees here at Crocker Field right now, and it is beautiful. Sun shining, high in the sky, wispy clouds at best, and what a great day for the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. 2,700 plus on hand here at Crocker Field today wearing red and blue. Congratulations to the communities getting out here and supporting this one.
Turkey, 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 turkey.
First down and 10 to go. Figueroa shifts out slot to the left. Snap, fake it to Nadal. Brooks keeps it himself.
Ooh.
Brooks was slipping and sliding there like he was on ice, crossing the 25-yard line and down at the 26. Still goes for a gain of 4, maybe 5. Second down and 5.
It looks like the middle of the field's getting a lot tougher to operate in now, Todd. And but I'm kind of curious on why they keep putting Figueroa in motion and pretty much taking him out of the play. I can't see the value of using him as a decoy. I want the ball in his hands if I'm calling the offensive plays, but
plays a little bit into your mid-game adjustment, though. You run him out, and he's kind of running the decoy route, if you will, and you let somebody else perform.
Very fickle. You say you're using him too much.
You got to keep him back. You still got to have that possibility he could get the ball.
There we go. Slot to the left again. The handoff to Nadal. Leominster sniffed it out in the backfield. That'll be hit back across the 25 and down around the 24-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and 7 to go.
Yeah, I will agree that the Red Raiders, I think, needed to focus some of the attention away from Figueroa, but you still need to have the possibility of him being part of the play. I don't think you can just discount him from any offense, and by putting him out there in the slot, haven't seen him catch a pass today, I don't think.
23
so,
seconds.
you know, I don't think the Blue Devils are going to respect that, and then now they're just looking at who's left in the backfield.
Under 20 seconds to play here in this quarter. Figueroa jumping to try to clap those cleats out. Should be the last play of the third quarter. 3rd and 7. It's a sweet pitch out of the eye for Figueroa. Bouncing it outside to the left. He's got left sideline. Slips 2 defenders. Still on his feet. Cutting back across the field and taken down around the 39-yard line. It's a Fitchburg first down at the end of the third quarter.
So him clapping his cleats, watch for him to get the ball? Because I tell you, that was pretty observant, Todd. Thank you.
21-14. Fitchburg over Leominster through 3 quarters. The 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg goes to the all-important 4th quarter when we come back. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers on Leominster TV. You've been seeing it all day long. What a game this has been. What a classic. Great battle here. It's going to come down to the end, Bill Thomas. This is the 4th and final quarter.
Yeah, and I tell you, this Fitchburg bench is pumped up, taking the lead in the 4th quarter. But I'm going to reflect back to that last touchdown by Fitchburg that gave them the lead. I don't think, and this is probably the 6th or 7th game I've had the pleasure of being here and observing the crowd and the reactions. That might have been the loudest crowd eruption that I've heard over any one play in all my experiences being here at Crocker Field. Was Fitchburg taking the lead there, and the crowd's definitely into it. The student body is, the sideline, and they feel that this is maybe a change into the guard.
Indeed, it very well may be. Radio rejoins us in moments. Thank you so much for joining us on Leominster TV today.
So we're going to watch for that clicking of the cleats.
And back to historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins here with you for the K-Zone today. The teams change ends, and here we go. Going left to right. The snap, give it to Figueroa. Figueroa's got some room, bounces it outside to the left. He's across the 45-yard line and angled out of bounds at the Fitchburg 48-yard line after a gain of 9. And Bill Thomas, I'm guessing you spotted some more cleat clapping.
Yeah, and now you got me watching Figueroa, and he's jumping up and down and clapping his heels together.
He's got to tell.
I mean, let's play a little poker and see if he wants to lose some money, because
Figueroa is thinking there's no place like the end zone. There's no place like the end zone.
Exactly.
Get those cleats cleaned out and try to find some room on the left sideline.
I don't think he cares who knows if he's going to get the ball, to be perfectly honest with you.
Try to stop me is what he's saying.
2nd and a yard to go. They need their own 49 for the first. Snapping from the 48. Here's the give. Flip to the near side. Figueroa slides down on the play right around the 44-yard line. That's going to lose 3 to 4 yards. Back across the 45 to the 44.
You notice there was no cleat cleaning prior to that.
Indeed, that may have been his problem.
Could have been. But I think we're going to see a steady dose of Figueroa here as this game winds down. more of a ball control situation now
Yes.
for Fitchburg, and I think we're going to see a steady dose of Figueroa right, Figueroa left, Figueroa up the middle.
And the properties of having Figueroa have the ball here, it's twofold. As you said, it chews up time off of the clock, but it's by far their most effective means of moving the ball down the field. So if you get a score, great. If you don't, then at least you're chewing the clock.
Flags and whistles kill the play. There's pushing and shoving after the fact as well. The flag goes down for a procedure against Fitchburg. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and now their drive stalling in the middle of the field, going the wrong way downfield.
It's going to make a 3rd and 10.
Indeed it will, with the enforcement back to the 39-yard line, which is where this set of downs began.
It's been amazing to see how both offenses for Leominster and Fitchburg have been very efficient in some of their drives and stalled quite a bit in some of their drives as well. Very interesting dichotomy.
The game has been played a lot between the 25-yard lines for sure. Brooks a 3-step set on 3rd and 10, high and outside, looking slant to the right, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Devin De Leon, who was coming on that slant, which they saw them hit earlier in the game and weren't able to connect on that one.
Adam Couch wanted that one pretty bad.
Yeah.
He was right in that throwing lane. Did a good job by pushing the defender away from the ball, but was in the vicinity of a potential pick 6 there.
4th down and 10 to go, and Fitchburg sends Mike Naud out to punt. He stands at his own 26-yard line to punt, and now there's a flag from the back judge.
Already?
This could be a procedure. It's that, or Leominster has 12 men. He's quickly counting them up.
I see 11.
I
2,
got 11.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 12.
Yep.
I just counted 12.
Problem out
12.
there. There is
There's
12
still 12.
blue jerseys out there, and they're not sure who doesn't belong.
They don't know.
And they're going to send one off the field. Justice Reynolds gets sent over to the sideline, and that 5-yard penalty makes it 4th and 5, and Leominster has to put their defense back out on the field.
No, I think they're still going to punt, but they're giving a look like maybe, you know, they got Figueroa
Sal
out there.
Figueroa is in the middle of the field.
You saw that
swinging
too,
door.
right?
He ran off the sideline.
He's not
and
sure
now
what they're
Fitchburg's
doing
got some
now.
last players out there.
Yeah.
Now they're going to take a 30-second timeout.
They were going to have
They
too many
have 12
people.
players
They have
out there
12.
because Figueroa is not supposed to be out there.
Yes.
But he wants the ball.
I can run 5 yards, Coach.
Yes.
I got this. I can run
Clearly,
5
that's
yards.
something they have in their playbook is snapping it potentially to Figueroa as an up man in the swinging door
Talk about a
formation
tell,
there.
Right.
Yeah, how about that?
You
Maybe a
saw him
little
run
quick off
out
the
there, and I'm
sideline.
thinking this could go either way. But unfortunately, he was the one person that wanted the ball. The rest of the team was punting.
9:09 to play in the 4th quarter. Fitchburg with the 21-14 lead. 4th down and 5 to go. Mike Naud stands at his own 31-yard line to punt. Good snap for Naud.
Ooh.
Low line drive off the side of his foot, rolling down the field, almost touched by Couch. Will roll inside the 10-yard line and be touched down at the 9. Ooh, that could have been ugly.
Yeah, but you know what? As ugly as it could have been, I think Couch might have made a mental error there. He could have fielded that ball, possibly saved 10 to 15 yards of field position. But who knows?
I think right now on both sides on the kick return, people are a little bit nervous because there's been so much dropping of the football all day long. I would rather see him just let the ball go and not fumble and have the ball in Fitchburg's hands at the 16-yard line.
With 8:58 to play here in the 4th quarter, this is, I believe, Leominster's longest field of the day, as they have the ball at their own 9-yard line coming right to left.
Yeah, they have been operating out of pretty good field position most of the
indeed.
day for drive starting. Say somewhere around the 30 on average.
So a 1st and 10 from their own 9, coming right to left in a shotgun formation. Couch in the backfield with Gallagher. He switches Couch to his left, does Gallagher. 4 receivers evenly distributed. He asks for the ball. The give is to Couch. Couch was hit almost as he got the handoff, and he's down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 9.
Once again, Fitchburg spreading the field out on defense, and like I say, it almost looks like they're daring the Blue Devils to run the ball. And Fitchburg does have some good size up front, but they're playing with 3 down linemen right now, 4 linebackers, and 3 linebackers and 5 in the defensive secondary. So secondary, we'll have to see if the Blue Devils continue to try to run the ball against this formation.
Right now, Leominster only averaging 3.6 yards per carry. They've rushed the ball 23 times in the game.
2nd down and 10 to go. trips to the open side right of the formation. Jack Young, the lone receiver to the left. Fake the handoff to Couch. Roll toward the trips. Does Gallagher and throws. Looking for Brian Rodriguez. Incomplete and into that first down yard arm yet again. Drop them over on the sideline. Protect yourselves. Protect the players. You don't want them running into a rigid, metal item over on the sideline. My goodness, Bob Cross is standing there going, I can tell you how to do this. Drop it and run.
No, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Indeed. My goodness. We'll have a check of our power player the second half at our next stoppage of play. 8:07 to play here in the fourth quarter. 21-14. Fitchburg's lead right now. Shotgun formation again. 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Couch in the backfield with Gallagher. 3rd and 10 from their own 9-yard line. Gallagher asks for the football. Back to pass. Hanging in the pocket with some time. Gets a block, keep him there a little longer. Now has to roll out and throw. Flips it into coverage. It's swatted down. Incomplete. Jack Young was the intended receiver in triple coverage. Gallagher tried to float that one in.
You noticed that too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a good decision there by Pat Gallagher. I mean, he was locked on, and then he just let it fly, and luckily that wasn't intercepted. It's going to bring up 4th down, though, and this is definitely turning into a field position game right now.
Yeah, you've got to punt. You have no choice here. You've got to send the punt back downfield, and Connor Marchand's going to have to punt from about a yard or 2 deep into his own end zone on this 4th down and 10 to go from Leominster's very own 9. Sal Figueroa to return from the Leominster 45. The punt is up. It was shanked off the side of the foot. This ball hopped, almost hitting a Red Raider, and takes a Leominster bounce across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That is all.
It's going to be a 22-yard punt for Leominster.
I don't know if you noticed the way Connor was set up there, but he was definitely trying to directionally kick that away from Figueroa, who was on the near hash mark here with the ball. But he completely shanked it off the left side of his foot, which actually brought the ball towards Figueroa, but nowhere near as deep as Figueroa was set up. Great field position here for the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
On 1st down, the carry straight up the middle of the field. It was Figueroa on the carry straight over the middle of the field. He gains 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 to go. Our power player of the second half brought to you by Blue Rock Energy. You have choices when it comes to energy providers, and Blue Rock Energy offers solid choices. Excellent customer relationships, evolving solutions to meet your needs. More details online at bluerockenergy.com after this play. The snap, sweet pitch to the left in the hands of Figueroa. Figueroa trying to cut in the mud. Now he's going to reverse fields, come back the other way. He's going the wrong way downfield. He got a block. It was clean. He turns the right corner, still on his feet, slipping the defenders, eluding another now hit and taken down at the 25-yard line. A very exciting gain of 3 yards. Power play of the second half, Kate.
Oh, God, it's going to be Figueroa. Hold on, let me add these 3 yards.
That's why. He just ran 40 yards to gain 3.
All right, let's take a look at his numbers, though. Sal Figueroa.
You want intensity? That's it.
That's it. He's a fun player to watch.
19 rushes, 211 yards so far in the game. He's averaging 11.1 yards per carry. His longest for 48 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day for Figueroa.
All right, so I'm just going to take a look at those statistics and tell you what he's doing for the year. He's averaging 8.9 with 7 touchdowns. He's right there, and he's everything, everything we expected.
Today.
Everything we expected.
3rd down, about 4 to go from the Leominster 25. Need the Leominster 21 for the first. Snap, sweet pitch to Figueroa, this time to the right. Got some room, steps back inside of end. Away from the defense. He's tripped up on a shoestring tackle. Christian Nunez grabbed the shoelaces and pulled Figueroa down. Figueroa saw nothing but end zone in front of him.
After breaking at least 4 tackles on his way towards the end zone, I was ready to punch the 6 on the scoreboard there. How Nunez ever got out there and got his arms extended just to grab a shoestring there is beyond me.
And this next set of downs is going to be absolutely huge for the Leominster defense. If they cannot stop this rushing attack of the Fitchburg Red Raiders, this one might be looking like it's in the books for Fitchburg to get that Nicholson Trophy back in their possession.
The epitome of a touchdown-saving tackle there by Christian Nunez.
And I don't know if you saw what happened there, Todd, but more confusion on the Blue Devils side of the field. They were short a player, forced to call a timeout as the the 11th player was running on defense, and the Red Raiders were ready to snap the
And
ball.
that's also been a little bit of an Achilles heel for Leominster all year long. Personnel and package ins and outs, they've been struggling with that quite a bit all season because they've had so many people from the second team have to come up in that next man up mentality. They've had personnel issues all year long, and they seem to continue today, especially considering the loss of Del Judas and the temporary loss of Rodriguez.
And that's something that has affected them all year long, Kate, as you say, and it has plagued them all year long, coming at inopportune times, and that was another one.
And it was a cornerback that was missing, and the last person you want missing is a cornerback with this kind of offense.
No question about it. On 1st and goal, here's the fake by Brooks. Great fake, rollout throw. Pass is caught. It's in the end zone for a Fitchburg touchdown. Damian Nadal, the fullback. That play looked awfully familiar. Out of an eye, a little upfield end cut to the end zone, and it's a Red Raider touchdown.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's something that we've been watching the Blue Devils run to their fullback, and they're number 22, and Red Raiders took a page out of the Blue Devils playbook right there.
5:35 to play in the 4th quarter. It's Fitchburg 27 and Leominster 14.
Roll out to the right, look for your fullback, easy 6.
Fitchburg now going to be attempting the conventional PAT.
Now to hold, Zavedra does the kicking. Good snap, got it down, did now. Zavedra drives it through. Team's coming back up the field, 5:35 to play in the 4th with the score. Fitchburg 28 and Leominster 14. We break, and we're back with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage for our viewers joining us on Leominster TV, and Bill Thomas, quickly in 10 seconds or less. How likely is it now, Leominster in the long field here, now they need to score on every touch of the football?
Well, what they've showed me, and I'm sure you've seen that too, they've been very prodding.
Yes.
There's been no sense of urgency. And I just don't see him shifting gears right now to that high-speed offense that we've grown to love and appreciate from Blue Devil football. Just don't see it happening. Hate to say it.
Back to Crocker Field in Fitchburg, the 112th Thanksgiving Day Classic on the K-Zone. So happy to have you along with us for what, by our calculations, the 75th Thanksgiving broadcast here on WEIM, WPKZ, AM 1280, 105.3 FM.
We've been here for every one of them.
Somebody has been. And here's a line drive from Zavedra, fielded by J.C. Cora at the Leominster 30. And Cora's got some room, and he's off to the races. Can Cora get there, or can the Red Raiders catch him? The kicker can't get him. It's Zavedra. He is caught from behind. J.C. Cora runs out of gas inside of the 5-yard line, taken down at the 3. What a return by J.C. Cora.
I'm going to give him the 2-yard line there, Todd.
Wow.
But you talk about a slow developing play. He was like a Clydesdale prodding through mud, and then he just broke free. The only question was if he was going to have enough gas to get to the end zone, but he got caught from behind.
Started on the left sideline, took it diagonally all the way across the field as he worked his way downfield to the right sideline, where he found space. Did J.C. Cora.
About an 87-yard return there.
Wow, what a return for Cora, setting up a very necessary short field situation for Leominster.
This is exactly what the Blue Devils were hoping for. Special teams coming up with a big play in order to get their offense back into this ball game.
Out of an eye, 1st and goal from the Fitchburg 2. Snap for Gallagher, give to Couch, cuts right, over the goal line, into the end zone. It's a Leominster touchdown.
Wow.
Well, I didn't see the Blue Devils going the length of the field prodding along like Clydesdales, but when you get a run back like that off a kickoff, it makes it look easy.
Now we'll probably see Leominster again go for the conventional 1-point, make it a 7-point game, but they need to be perfect here. Leominster has absolute
a flag down at the end of the play.
It's like a substitution thing?
Could be against Fitchburg. There was a lot of chirping going on. This may be assessed on the kickoff.
15.
It is flagged against Isaiah Perez, a 15-yard penalty. It will be assessed 15 yards on the kickoff for unsportsmanlike conduct. So Leominster will get field position benefits here coming at the end of the play.
Right now, motion seeming to run a little bit high out there.
Emotion, a cup runneth over right now.
You notice that too, Kate, and I hope the emotion doesn't turn into chippiness.
I think we're
as
there.
this game winds down.
Leominster has personnel problems again, and they race to the sideline. Now a flag is down. Coach Palazzi asked for a timeout, and they're not
Illegal.
going to get it. Illegal substitution
Right.
against Leominster. That will be a 5-yard penalty. That, I believe, will be assessed right now on the point after, which makes this 1 point very difficult for Pablo Rodriguez. He's got to go back a little farther to get the 1 point and make this a 7-point game instead of an 8-point game, which it is right now at 28-20 Fitchburg. Gallagher holds.
My word.
It's been a day. Ball down, slipping and falling. The kick is up. It is over the bar. And the teams come back up the field. The extra point is good. Wow. 5:17 to play in the fourth quarter. Fitchburg 28, Leominster 21. You're not going to want to miss the end of this one. Come on back. It's the classic on the K-Zone. WPKZ. Falling down, Bill Thomas.
I love it.
He gets it over the bar.
I mean, we've got the makings of an instant classic here, but at the very least, we do have some drama
The
building.
classic is always
Yes,
something.
as
There's
drama
no instant
building
about
here.
it.
But you know what? Blue Devils got to play defense in the second half.
Yep.
They haven't played much of it,
No,
to be
you're
honest
right.
with you.
And that's been their Achilles heel again all year. I know we've been talking about it quite a bit, but we'll go through how many points they've been giving up all season when we come back with our radio listeners.
Back to historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg. The 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, shaping up to be another fantastic chapter in this rivalry. It has been a day. It always feels like an Iliad when these two teams get together. We've got another one on tap here. They're assessing that 15-yard penalty on this kickoff. Kate, you were talking about this a little bit on our bonus coverage on Leominster TV. Want to catch up our radio listeners as well.
Yeah, we were talking about Leominster's difficulties with giving up points on defense. If we take a look at their season, they gave up 28 to Marlborough, 33 to Everett, 35 to St. John's, 35 to Shrewsbury, 31 to Doherty, 49 to Wachusett, 35 to Shepherd Hill, 30 to Algonquin, only 6 against Grand Dunstable, and 14 against North Middlesex. But they've been giving up 30-plus points all year long.
29.5 according to the home team telegrams
Yes.
crack reporting, which I absolutely love.
A little pooch kick there as Pablo Rodriguez stayed on the field, and with the short field kickoff was from the 45-yard line. Fitchburg's 45, that is. Went with a little pooch kick up the middle of the field, drove Fitchburg back to around their 26-yard line where they just fell on the football.
What do you figure? Keeping the ball out of Figueroa's hands?
Keep it away
What
from
coach's
Figueroa.
call there?
Yeah, I think that's a good decision there.
Don't bother punting it down, kicking it off down to him.
Well, plus you want to have that benefit, right? If you kick it through
Right.
the end zone, you bring it back out to the 20 anyway. So you want the
Exactly.
benefit of the kickoff. He gave up maybe 5 or 6 yards on the decision.
We've got 5:16 left to go in this ball game, and it is going to be a doozy.
And another name will be added to the legacy here. 2 fakes and the give now to Figueroa. Figueroa spins away from the defense, and a last-second hold brings him down. Credit there to Dom Vasquez for making that tackle. He hung on for dear life, and he went for a ride with Figueroa.
And
Yeah.
every single time he touches the ball, it's taking multiple people. Every time he touches it,
First-
you know he's going to elude the first 6 tackles.
Not only Lou, just run his way through him.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
he doesn't need to. He's very hard to take down one-on-one. And you get a hold of him, you better hang on until the cavalry shows up.
Under 5 minutes here to go in this one, and now Fitchburg's cadence, very slow and methodical. They know the advantage is with them.
With a 28-21 lead, the clock is their friend. A little turnaround, hey, take that. Pitch to Figueroa. He gets hit by
Hello.
Mike Viola. Now a little help from Brian Rodriguez, and he's pushed back after a gain of 1. Tom DiGeronimo not happy with the tackle on that play, as he felt Figueroa was getting pushed to the sideline maybe late or after the whistle, but looked like a good clean hit from here, as again, they needed everything they can, or maybe he didn't like that they let the play go so
Yeah, the
long
whistle
with
took a
Figueroa.
long while to come out on that one. And with the amount of chippiness that's been going on and the amount of flags for personal fouls, you got to make sure that whistle comes out a little bit faster to
Yeah, no
end that.
question.
Forward progress was all done.
But, Viola took him on nicely over there one-on-one, but I don't think you
Beautiful.
can be too quick with the whistle when it comes to Figueroa because of his ability to
He
break
can break
tackles.
through,
You
yeah.
got to kind of let at least the
Happy
cavalry show up.
balance. Got to find the balance. Brooks again in a gun here. Figueroa in the backfield to his left.
Yeah,
Or no,
third down
Nadal,
and
that
3.
is.
Yeah, Brooks faked the handoff to Nadal. Brooks bounces it outside. He reaches for it, but the mark is down short of the line to gain by about a yard. Coach Palazzi is going to grab a 30-second timeout, stop the clock with 3:37 to play in the fourth quarter. 28-21, Fitchburg's lead, and the Red Raiders will face a 4th down and short in their own half of the field, around their own 36-yard line.
This becomes one of those instances. You're the Seattle Seahawks, and you've got the best running back in the business, and you don't give it to him. You have to give it to Sal Figueroa at 4th down and 1 here in order to move the sticks and be able to keep taking time off this clock.
But on a 4th and a yard, do you risk giving it to Leominster in your own end of the field? A lot of choices here for coaches to make.
I would have to say that the Red Raiders feel pretty good about how they've been playing defense today. You know, they gave up that big play on the kickoff. Leominster got their touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
Well, they're going to talk things over. A timeout down there gives us a chance for our in-game update. It's brought to you by Dream Kitchens. When it's time to remodel your kitchen or bath, it's time to call Dream Kitchens and Baths of Leominster. 44 Meade Street in Leominster, online at dreamkitchens.net. Shrewsbury, a winner today, comeback fashion. They were down early, tied at 15 at the half, and they beat Wachusett by not allowing a point in the second half. Shrewsbury, a winner today, 35-15 over Wachusett to take that game in that series at home. Solid win for the Colonials to wrap up their season with a positive note.
I wasn't surprised that it was going to be a tight game in the half. I'm a little bit surprised that Shrewsbury, with the halftime adjustments that they made, is able to really smoke Wachusett in the second half.
Another final score, Neshoba over Clinton, 28-12. That game a final score. We'll see Neshoba next week from Gillette Stadium on a Saturday. We'll have more information on that before we leave you today as part of the Super Bowls as well. It did look like the offense, Kate, initially out on the field, and I think it is.
It is.
I told you, it's going to Sal Figueroa. If you're going to put it on the back of the horse that has brought you here, it's going to Figueroa. They need 1 yard.
The snap, they give it to Brooks, and Brooks follows the center straight over the middle.
I know
and
nothing.
The pile caved.
I know
the
nothing.
Center, Dan Dudek, pushed it forward, and of course, Leominster is upset. They wanted a flag for a delay of game, and no flag came.
See, we got a left foot spot here, which is good for the Blue Devils, but we'll see how much that benefits.
They're going to bring the
when
chains
it comes
in.
to the mark and the measurement.
The football is at the 37-yard line right now. The line to gain was just shy of the 37.
Yeah, I'm going to give them
It looks like a first down,
yeah.
but they're going to stretch the chains out to make sure
if this is a first down, this stadium will erupt.
Yeah,
I agree. So here we go. They stretch it
it
out,
is.
and by a length of a football plus, that is a Fitchburg first down with 3:33 to play in the fourth quarter, and Fitchburg with a 28-21 lead.
Here comes Coach Dave Palazzi to talk things over about the spot of the football.
He's
Presumably.
still screaming about something.
Not happy. He hasn't been happy since the first series of downs.
Yeah. He's going to have to, though, know the limit, and he does. He turns around and he starts walking away because Leominster can't afford to have any penalties, let alone one coming from the sideline. So very good job by Coach Palazzi to know when the time to cut bait and run back to his sideline was. But nevertheless, first down and 10 for the Red Raiders from their own 37-yard line.
And they will be able to continue to milk the clock. Brooks the snap. Give it to Figueroa. Figueroa with some room in the open field, blocks out in front of him. Flag now from the back judge as Figueroa comes across midfield. We'll see what that flag is downfield.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hold maybe on the wide receiver. Might have been blocking downfield. I'll have to see what we got, though.
Holding is the call. It goes against Fitchburg. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot. Spot was the 49-yard line, so still a first down, but they'll mark it back 10 yards.
It's going to be a first and about 4, it looks like. About 7, actually, once they get it back from the spot foul.
Yeah, back to the 40-yard line we go.
Yeah, that play happened well downfield ahead of the play. And
they got to reset those sticks, though. Something is still not quite right down there.
Still, they got to bring the – no, we're looking good. Still, because that was a first down and 10.
But
he gained beyond
you have
first.
To give them, but you got to move the chains now on the first down. They gained it on the
No, it's
first
still
down.
first down, Todd.
But it shouldn't be first down and 7 to go.
Yeah, because it was marked off 3 yards beyond where the foul was beyond the first down.
Yes,
it was a spot foul.
I see what you're saying. Right, spot foul from where it was.
Where the foul was, yeah.
Yeah, now
because it was beyond the line of scrimmage.
Correct. He was behind.
It was well downfield, about 15. Well, obviously 13 yards downfield.
The block
so.
was way downfield.
Yeah.
You are correct
We'll
on
get
that.
it taken care of
See,
here.
what would you do without me?
We appreciate it. Good to have you back.
I'd probably
One thing I've gotten right today.
I'd probably just look at him and go, just keep going. Just keep going.
Well, when he had him penalized 10 yards for a procedure call, we were just going to let him.
Tom DiGeronimo talks to Bill Goslin over here on the near sideline. Now the wing official comes over with a message, and Bill Goslin's going to have to run across the field and talk to Dave Palazzi. 2:35 to play in the fourth
I'll
quarter.
tell you what, Bill
28-21 the lead for Fitchburg.
Bill Goslin's been getting his steps in.
Indeed he has.
All
He's not supposed to be running east and west, as they like to refer to it. He's used to just
Up and down.
matriculating.
Yeah,
Is that-
matriculating up
He's
and
used
down
to
the field.
matriculating with the offense. Follow the quarterback down the field.
Man, I tell you though, the officiating crews, they take a lot of licks.
You get your money's worth when you come in and you get the
boy.
Thanksgiving Day game between Leominster
You know
and
you're gonna
Fitchburg.
hear
I'm going to tell you, it's right from the opening kickoff. It's been very emotional. I think the officials have done a great job.
They
today.
have. They
On
have,
both
they have done
sides.
everything
Very
they
even.
possibly can
Yep.
to keep this game under control. They've got another 2.5 minutes of what is going to be fun and excitement before this one is over.
Exactly.
First down, 7 to go. I formation. Figueroa's the back man. Under center goes Brooks. Snap, give it to Figueroa. Figueroa's got a block. He's got the right corner.
Ooh.
Stiff arm in the face, crossing the 45, down around the 47-yard line.
He might have another first
I
down.
think
He's
he
gonna be
does.
Close.
And not only that, he stayed in bounds. I'm telling you, Figueroa's a very smart player. Not sure what his plans are, in this year, but some school's going to get himself a really good football player, a D3, a D2 school maybe. Who knows where he's going to go? But very talented football player and a smart football player right there, showing it by getting down on the ground instead of letting himself get pushed out of bounds.
And Bill
And
Goslin says
here
that's a first down.
is the first down.
Leominster takes a timeout, their first of the second half. 2:22 to play in the fourth quarter. 28-21, Fitchburg's lead. Let's recap what is on the line here. A Fitchburg win today snaps a 8 straight Thanksgiving win streak for Leominster. The last Fitchburg win was in overtime. It was 20-17 in 2008. That was Fitchburg's last Thanksgiving Day win. Their last win in a meeting was a 7-0 victory over Leominster in a playoff game a few years ago. A Leominster win today would be their 9th straight on Thanksgiving. 10 out of 11 meetings since 2009. That's what's on the line over the next 2 minutes and 22 seconds. 7 points separating these two storied programs.
Very well put, and I think these last 2.5 minutes here could be the most entertaining 2.5 minutes of the season, but there's definitely still a lot of emotions running very high on both sidelines.
The 2,700 people plus on hand here at Crocker Field today, they got their money's worth. As our
And
friend
then
the
some.
poet says, buy a Turkey Day ticket and enjoy the fun. It's been worth every minute of it. First down and 10 to go from the 48. The snap. Give it to Figueroa. Hit at the point of attack.
How
Got
does
some
he
room.
do it?
He ran away from the defense again. He's got right sideline. Couch trying to cut the angle. He'll wrap him up out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. But what a run. And Kate, I agree with you. How does Sal
he do
Figueroa
it?
do it?
I
At
don't
least
know.
bounced off at least 3 defenders. None of them could wrap him up to wait for help, and results in about a 40-yard gain.
43-yard pickup for Sal Figueroa.
take
And
a
most
peek.
importantly, moving the chains. And the clock is at 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Look at how shifty he is. I'm looking
You're
at
watching
the
on
LTV
Leominster TV
replay.
coming into your living room.
I mean, what a player.
This
I'm
kid
very
know how he
can
impressed.
run.
I'm very impressed. You talk about you want your running backs to run north and south, and you alluded to this earlier, Kate, how his hips are always moving.
Yeah.
You're not
Always.
sure what direction he's going to go. He runs north and south, east
And
and west,
east at
all at
the
the
same
same time.
time.
You just, I mean, you can
Yeah.
read my mind, and that's what I was thinking when you commented earlier. This kid goes 4 different directions at once.
Yeah, how
well,
do you
3.
stop that?
He's going towards the end zone plus side to side at the same
At the
time.
same time. Here we go. First down and goal to go for the Red Raiders. From the Leominster 10, whistles and flags kill the play. Yes. Procedure against the Red Raiders. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be a first and goal to go from back around the 15-yard line.
Leominster's fan base starting to vacate Crocker Field through the Circle Street gates here.
Shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line after the enforcement. So first and goal from the 14. There we go. 2:10 to play here in the fourth. 28-21 Fitchburg's lead. Play comes off the sideline with Aussie Guy. He's going to bring it in.
Yeah, give it to Figueroa. Which way? Right?
I was going to say.
His most success has been behind the right side of his offensive line, I think.
Yeah.
One need not be a rocket scientist to figure out where
I
this
know,
play
huh?
is going.
We'll
Offset I, it's Nadal,
Strong
the
to
down
the left.
fullback, and here's the snap. The give to Figueroa, who takes it behind that offset to the left,
Down to
plows
the
it
10.
into the pile to about the 10-yard line, and Leominster has to start using their timeouts to stop the clock and keep themselves at least alive with a chance to be able to go down the field and make a miracle happen.
Yeah, referring to strong left there, we kind of picked up on that. Tight end on the left side of the formation.
Yeah.
And that's right, the side they ran behind, although he didn't go around the tight end. Still a well-designed play to pick up some yards, keep the clock moving.
And with 2:04 remaining in this one, because it is not yet over, Figueroa right now, 26 rushes, 307 yards. He's averaging 11.8 yards per carry. His long so far has been for 48 yards, and he has 3 touchdowns on the day for the Red Raiders.
What
So
a day.
Think he's going to remember this day?
I would hope
Yeah.
so.
Indeed, he should.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't, then I don't know where he's been.
I'll tell you, the Blue Devils are going to remember this day, having to face him. And but it's been an excellent, well-played game on both sides of the football. And, you know, this is the type of game you hate to see somebody have to lose.
Yep.
But that's the nature of the game, you know. And much like we heard the motivational talk last night at the banquet, you play to win, but it's how you play.
Absolutely.
The win is the pinnacle. But if you give every bit of effort, somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. It doesn't, if you lose because of lack of effort,
Yes.
then that's a problem. But if you give everything you got, hey, sometimes the cards just don't fall your way.
All things being equal, both teams have laid it on the line today in this 136th meeting. Here's the snap, the flip to Figueroa. Figueroa still stepping over the defense,
one more.
away from the defense to the end
Let's
zone.
add another.
It's a Fitchburg touchdown, and it is a dagger with 1:54 to play in the 4th quarter. And the Red Raider fans at the sideline can feel it.
Throwing confetti in the air.
The Nicholson Trophy will be returning to Fitchburg, Massachusetts. It has resided in Leominster for nearly a decade. But the Nicholson Trophy will be returning.
And I'm looking down here on the sideline. I don't know who's more excited. The Fitchburg players or defensive coordinator, Coach Raff over here.
Yeah,
of
Charlie
course,
Raff.
he's been on both sides of the ball, most notably Leominster.
Ball is down for now. The kick up for Saavedra is wide to the right. Teams coming back up the field with 1:54 to play in the 4th. Fitchburg 34 and Leominster 21. We
All right,
take a break.
let's
We're
kick
back
it.
with more. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ. Bonus coverage here. Bill Thomas, go ahead.
Kick it to Cora.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get it down to the inside the 5 and then
Cora Dixon. Leominster could use a short field, quick score, and then an onside kick.
kick it.
Want to take this opportunity, by the way, to thank once again our Action Sports sponsors here on Leominster TV, the El Camino Restaurant, Troy Hebert Construction, MP Crowley Company Incorporated, Dream Kitchens and Baths, and United Solutions. Thank all of you for being with us all year long here on Leominster TV and making this great sports programming possible.
Fitchburg sideline down here congratulating himself all over the place. I think they're forgetting there's still a minute 54 to play and anything could happen.
Back to historic Crocker Field in Fitchburg alongside Kate Robbins and Bill Thomas. I am Todd Robbins. Happy to have you along with us for the 136th meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, and what a day it has been. At Fitchburg, 34-21 lead, 1:54 to play in the 4th. We're not done yet. Saavedra on the approach. Line drive with the right foot, fielded high into the chin by Voshan Dixon. Full head of steam, though. Dixon finally tripped up, taken down by Sal Figueroa at the 29-yard line.
Good coverage downfield by the special teams of the Fitchburg Red Raiders. Long field with 2 scores to chase here. Minute 49 left in the contest.
Coming up post-game, we're going to recap it all the stats for you here on the K-Zone. We'll get you a comprehensive scoreboard from other Thanksgiving games going on all across central Massachusetts as well. All that coming up post-game, and of course, we'll get you caught up on some upcoming programming as well here, including any and all of the celebrations and the pageantry ending here from Crocker Field in Fitchburg. Leominster with the football. First down and 10, 4 receivers out in a gun. They find themselves at their own 29-yard line. Good snap. Gallagher with some time. Looks to his left and throws. Pass is complete for Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez hit and hit again as he crosses the 40-yard line. And now Rodriguez a little frustrated by Perez as he trots back to the huddle. But it is a catch, and it's good for a Leominster first down. Clock stopped 1:39 to play in the fourth quarter as they reset the sticks.
13-yard gain for the Blue Devils on that one.
Got to use that sideline a little more efficiently, though, when you have the opportunity. They are going to wind the clock as soon as they get upset. Time is precious right now.
4 receivers out in the formation. Shotgun set this time. Couch in the backfield with Gallagher. Good snap. Back to pass. Got some time over the middle of the field. Pass is complete for Rodriguez. Eludes a defender and a second. Still on his feet. Takes on 2 more as he powers his way to the 41-yard line. 1:15 to play here in the fourth. Gallagher says, get to the line, get to the line. We need to snap this football. Time is not our friend. Calling out a play over slot to the left. 4 receivers set in a gun with Couch. Winding down toward a minute here. Good snap, back to pass. Gallagher pushed out to his right and throws. Pass is incomplete.
I'm going to make an observation here, Todd,
Yes.
while I can. You know, all the Red Raiders are up on the sideline, and, you know, they're all excited about the pending victory. Of all the players, and this is just an indication of everything he's given today, Figueroa is here on the bench. He was sitting by himself. His teammates been coming over. You know, he's showing a little emotion now, but you talk about somebody who's given everything he could give for his team and his city today. That's the 2 words, Sal Figueroa.
Indeed. 2nd down and 10 to go. 4 receivers out in the formation. Gallagher is in the backfield with Couch. Gallagher's going to ask for the football. Back to pass. Got some time. Looks to his left and throws. Pass is complete for Brian Rodriguez. Turns the ball upfield. And Rodriguez is cut down out of bounds at the 21-yard line. It's another Leominster first down. Clock stopped as the play goes out of bounds. 50.7 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Want to take this opportunity to say happy Thanksgiving to my mom, dad, my grandparents, my sister Ashley, Travis, who's back at Master Control as well. Want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of my family. We'll see all of them later on today as well. And, of course, I know on behalf of all of us, give you guys an opportunity to say happy Thanksgiving to those of yours as well.
I would love to. My peeps listening, Monty, you're out there. Wendella, you know who you are. Thanks for chiming in. Texted me today, and glad to hear from you. Happy Thanksgiving to one and all.
And happy Thanksgiving to my family, Louise and Doug, Steve and his wife Carrie, and Tom, my brothers, and to Aunt Pat, who's making turkey right now.
Aunt Pat, get the turkey ready. We'll see you shortly. Pass is complete for Jack Young across the 10, and he's out of bounds right around the 7-yard line.
I also have to say happy Thanksgiving to UK, because he'll get upset with me if I just say Aunt Pat. So same to you, UK.
Indeed, and we'll see them all shortly. 43 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. It's 34-21, Fitchburg's lead.
I left my turkey in the hands of my son. Maybe I should text him
I
to
was
see
going to
how
say,
it's
hey,
going.
how's that going? hopefully
He's actually
it's going
the
okay.
son who's the chef.
Oh,
okay.
you're in good shape. You're in good shape there. No problem. You got a trained professional.
Shameless plug, Tyven in the Square in Littleton. Feel free to stop in there. It's great food.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. There's the snap. Back to pass. Looks left and throws. Pass is picked off. Isaiah Rodriguez picked it at the goal line. He's off to the races.
Somebody's catching
is
him.
Potentially pick 6. Couch runs him down at the 25-yard line, but the celebration ensues, and that is all the capper you need if you are Fitchburg. Wow, that says how this day is gone.
Unfortunate turn of events there, and you know, as the Blue Devils come back upfield, I'm looking at Brian Rodriguez, and he was the intended receiver there. He fell down on the play, and you know, made for an easy interception, but fortunate turn of circumstances there, and you don't really like to have a game end on that kind of note, but it's been a very hard-fought game.
One snap and a kneel down is all that is between us, and I'll tell you, what is the most telling thing that kind of sums things up today? The T-shirt that Charlie Rath has been wearing.
Yeah.
And on the back of it says, trust the process.
Yes.
1 year, new coaching staff, new feel in the program, Fitchburg pride. It says it all, and it's been on display all day long.
And who's going to get the Gatorade bath? The
Tom
defensive
DiGeronimo.
coordinator or the head
Oh,
coach?
it's gotta
a little
be
bit
Tom
of both.
DiGeronimo
They got
and
2 of them
everybody
ready
else.
over there.
Yeah,
you can see it coming.
The Gatorade bath is a-coming. This
They're
is going to
scheming.
snap an 8 straight Leominster win streak on Thanksgiving. It will be Fitchburg's first win since 2008 on a Thanksgiving Thursday.
A lot of hugging on the Fitchburg sideline.
Brooks the snap. He nails it down. It's academic from there. The time will come off the clock. Fitchburg is a winner today. 34-21.
Here it comes.
Fitchburg has won the game
Coach
the
Raff,
Gatorade
that's
back.
who's getting it.
Charlie Raff gets the Gatorade
I
back.
thought he might get it. He's really made a difference with this program, I think, along with the head coaching change.
Sal Figueroa by himself over at the 45-yard line, drops to a knee,
Overcome.
exhausted,
He's
overcome with emotion. They've waited a long time for this.
And that's what I was seeing on the bench over here, Todd. He was by himself, you know, having a little family interaction here, but you could tell he's given all he's got to give today.
It'll be the 60th all-time win for Fitchburg. So Fitchburg's all-time record now 60, 66, and 10. Makes Leominster's all-time record 66, 60, and 10 in 136 meetings with this victory today, a 34-24 win for the Red Raiders. I want to thank you so very much for being a part of this one. If you've been joining us on Leominster TV, 34-21 the final score. Happy Thanksgiving to one and all. We will talk to all of you later on Leominster TV. It's time now for you to flip over to the other side and to join us on the radio, AM 1280, 105.3 FM. We're just getting started. Post-game show coming up next. A break and we're back with more. We'll be back to Crocker Field with our post-game show next. You're listening to The Classic on the K-Zone, WPKZ.